Okay. And I also talk about setting time aside for enjoyment, right? Like taking the wife for dinner or taking the kids for dinner. You could clean that off your tax, and that's enjoyment, right? It could be anything, maybe you could go out, play sports, with your friend, or just, go to the mall, the wife thing like shopping. So take them to the mall. Or the church, you can come to church, right? Just do something that is not like, that is not focused on working, right? Just so that you're not burning out, okay? And then I also want to mention that when you start making money from your hobby, and more people, and they start. For example, with I kind of focus on photography. As you get more gigs, you got to like look at the demand, right? It's good that you're getting gigs, right? Not all gigs are good gigs, right? One person said that the worst clients are the ones that pay the less. Yeah. Okay, and it's true. That's true. The worst clients are the ones that pay you the less. So once you master your skill, try to level it up, right? Like people that people that pay you $200 might be the most difficult client you ever deal with, and people that pay you $500, the easiest you ever deal with. And I learned it later on, but as I listened to my friend, I'm like, it makes sense, like I'm charging at $150 and $200, and all these like people talking about, oh, my skin not smooth, oh, my face look too this and that. Since I upgraded my package, little problem, no problem at all, So and I'm going to continue that process, right? Because and also if you charge too cheap, people will say that okay, you're not good, right? So you have to find that medium. So yeah, you got to think about that too. It is. All right, so I'm gonna mention here few people that actually turn their hobby into a full business. Some of these you probably don't even know them, but I'll highlight the guy called Brandon Stevens. Staten. He's a fitness person, right? So he started in his gym. In his basement. Okay, he started his little workout. Started putting videos on YouTube. Okay, started very small, and now he's a major gym owner across Europe. Right, he has a lot of branches across Europe. Again, he started very small. Okay. If you're searching right now on Google, you'll see that he has like meal plans, right? That you could order even from here. If you decide to to live healthy, you can follow his plan, and live a healthy lifestyle as well. But again, he started very small in his basement, right? So those are some other people that I wanted to highlight. I already talked about time management. Right, being able to manage your time, and starting very small, right? Again, taking baby steps. Do not just jump right into it. You're gonna get burnt out. You're probably not even gonna like it anymore. Okay, so I want you to, if you decide to like find something that you want to turn into money to help yourself to live comfortably, start small, very very small, and then eventually you grow it. Okay. All right, now that part is done. So let's say you found a hobby and you're making some money. Okay, so now you have extra money. How do you hold on to your money? If everybody knows Shaquille O'Neal, he's a basketball player. Now he's retired. But when he first started playing basketball, the man was getting millions of dollars. He was just using it. He did not know how to actually keep the money. Like as he get paid, the money goes, right? So he was telling himself, okay, well, what do I do to maintain my money, to keep my money? So during that time, he went to a business school. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal took it up on himself because he knew that someday he's gonna retire from basketball. He's not gonna have all this money, so he needed to find a way to keep that money. So he went to business school. Now he owns maybe like 300 car wash. He has chicken wings shops. I'm not sure, maybe he owns some Five Guys. Okay, Five Guys. So he does. He gonna diversifying his his portfolio, right? Which is a good mindset, right? Because you have all this money not coming in. Let's say you find a hobby that makes you money. Let's try to find a way to hold on to that money, or let that money make money for you. So now we're going to talk about stocks investing, right? I'm going to keep it at a very high level. So if any of you want more detail, you can reach out to me and then we can talk, on one-on-one. I started this talk at our Thursday night hot topic meetings at Harvest, Minneapolis. So, and then they want me to continue with the talk. So, again, this part will be a very high level. Okay. All right. So keep in mind that when you start investing, one thing I always say is that invest with money that you're willing to lose. Right. That's very, very important. Do not go put your whole life saving into a stock or a ETF, and then next day, let's say Donald Trump does something and boom, it's all gone. It could happen. So make sure you invest. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, because he's very volatile, so you can never read the guy. I'm just saying. But it's just an example. I mean also the market. Yes, please. Yeah, and also it's the market. So like I'm saying, make sure that you're investing money that you're willing to lose. Do not put your life saving into any stocks. I mean, it could look good, but just do not pour your life saving into it. So that because you could get depression, right? I mean, we're trying to avoid that. So why are stocks a smart choice? Okay, you could either hold your money and put it in a bank or in a saving account. It will sit there and nothing gonna happen to it. 5-10 years, you're probably gonna be paying the bank to keep your money for you, right? But with stocks, you'll be getting some returns, right? Some might not be a lot, some might be a lot, right? Mm. And I also want to mention that you want to when you do start investing, I talk about diversifying your portfolio. Do not just focus on one thing, or Apple, Tesla. Basically, just do not focus on one thing, right? You want to make sure that you're going to diversify your portfolio. And also, there are some companies that actually pay you to hold their stocks, right? They call those dividends. So let's say if you buy, I think Apple pays dividends. I'm not sure, but you could actually buy stocks, that could pay you back. Let's say if it's 10% dividends or 30% dividend, if at the end of that year, they'll pay you, for holding onto that stocks. They call those dividends. So you want to make sure that you're kind of choosing your strategy wisely, right? So now, how do we get started? So with mine, again, I'm gonna focus on myself. Now that the wife is working, she's a nurse now. I'm also still working as a full-time software engineer. What I try to do now with the money that I make from photography, I try to invest almost 50% of that into stocks, right? So I just have a payment plan. Whenever I get paid, the money goes into a Cash App. When the money goes into a Cash App would take I'll go and buy either. Again, this is my strategy, right? I'll go and either buy Apple, Tesla, or Bitcoin, right? And that money just is. I'm not even touching it. It just comes and it leaves. It goes into stocks, and then maybe I'll look at it. Something happened in the news. I'll look at it and say, okay, maybe I'll sell this just so that I don't lose too much money, right? But you gotta like monitor that in a way that I mean, like you're keeping your well, yeah, kind of sort of, but I would say keep your eyes on the market. So because there are some times that I mean there'll be a bad news. You say, you know what? I know that this is happening to Apple. I know that maybe a month from now, 2 months from now, the value gonna go down, right? So you want to be smart about it and say, you know what? Let me just sell some of it so that I don't lose all my money, right? And that's something that I do. So there are many platforms that you can use, right? To invest. We have your E-Trade, we have Fidelity, and then we have Robinhood. I mostly use Robinhood because the other ones they're what you call a middleman, right, or a broker, right? You have to pay them, but with Robinhood, you are the middleman. You're kind of like in control of your own investment, right? You can go sign up, decide to buy whatever you want to buy, right? But with E-Trade, I think it might be the same with E-Trade too. But with some of them, you're gonna have to, call a middleman, of someone that, a broker that will say, okay, I want to buy this year. Can you purchase that on my behalf? And you're gonna have to pay them for that. They are probably very smart. Smarter than myself. So they know exactly how the market works. But again, if everybody know how the market works, everybody be a millionaire, right? Yep. But nobody knows. So when you are investing in something, or if you're asking them to get you a stock in something, make sure they do your research, right? I'll say probably research is very important. That's the first step that you want to make sure that you know what the company is about, how much money they make, how much money they owe, and all these things, right? All right, so I already talked about stocks that you could possibly buy, right? To make profit from. We have Apple, probably one of the very stable, consistent, probably a very reliable blue chip stock that you get now. You have your ETFs, right? So the ETF would be like, let's say for example, like the top 500 company in the country will turn into one stocks, so that in a way that, okay, when one person is doing bad, you know that the other one will probably be doing good, so that your loss is minimal, right? That's the goal. The goal is you're investing so that you can make more money. You're not investing so you can lose all your money, right? So you got to be very careful what you do. We're going to some investment tips. Like I said, you want to do your research. Do not just go based on the news, right? Or do not just go on Facebook and someone writes and say, oh, you know what, you should go buy these stocks because of this, because of that. You'll lose money for that. I did the same thing with there's a company called the Rockets. I think they do like mortgage, like they give mortgage loan. A few years ago, following one investor off of YouTube, he's like, you know what? In the next 5 years, this stock gonna rocket, right? A very good catchy, right? A very catchy. So I'm like, you know what? I did a little bit of research. I was like, let me put 5,000 into it. And I did. 2 months later, nothing's happening. Nothing happening. And right now, I have lost 80% of the $5,000. But I have not lost yet because I have not sold yet. So, but once you sell, then you lost, right? So, but yeah, you have to also be patient, right? I think also patience is key. You can't rush it. If you do, you might end up losing all the money, right? So, if eventually, maybe they might, they might do better. Who knows, right? So I'm going to hold on to that for now, right? We also talk about being able to spray your investment, right? There's a saying that said, do not put all your egg in one basket, right? So you also want to spread that your investment as well, and not just focus on one company or on a certain thing, right? Just try to spread it out, and see what makes money for you, right? That'll definitely be something that I want you to think about. All right, I'm pretty much done. So now that we have a hobby, or you think of some sort of hobby, right? And we're gonna touch base a little bit on how to invest, the extra money you're gonna be making from it. I want us to now think about a hobby, right? Someone might be here that doesn't know what they want to do. So we could out loud, you can name a hobby that you think someone else could might benefit from it. Like I said, mine is photography. I do that, and I'm still doing that now, and I do enjoy it. So I want us to talk about hobby that someone else might benefit from it, and maybe they could go and say, let me go try it out and see if I could make money off from it too. And then we'll do Q&A.
I'll give him a microphone from back here. Okay, so you just
No.
Yeah, Brother Tuado, thank you so much. We really appreciate your talk this morning, and this is good. They say we work 8 hours, some of us work 12 hours, 16, whatever hour you work, to take care of your families and stuff. And that's just to pay our mortgages, rent, but it's not going to take us anywhere until we start to, do stuff like this. And so just about a hobby, I just want to just give a little example. I got a friend of mine, he's in Fargo, and he hosted us, he and his wife, they hosted us last week when we were there. And when this guy, we graduated from high school together, like from 9th grade, 10th, 11th, 12th, and very smart guy, man. When it comes to Mary Moses' son, though. Brilliant guy. And right now, so he's right now does not have a job, or his wife works. Mm-hmm. But this guy want to say handy. We went in the guy's garage. They just bought a brand new home. Brand new. They built it up. And the guy is so handy. The guy, his garage. If you see the guy's garage, you just want to bring your stuff and just lay down in, you just sleep. You don't even want to go to the room. So then I called him last week. I said, Moses, man, bro, have you thought on monetizing what you have, like a handyman and do stuff like that? Because I beg people, you will make money. And he said, oh, Rich, that's a very good idea, So just to bring that out, some things you do, you may overlook, but, it's just good to just look it up and see how to help yourself to go. So thank you so much. I just want to make that comment. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Another thing that I encourage a lot of people to do, especially a lot of young folks, we had our youth seminar one time, and the youth had a lot of questions about, okay, so let's say, I have a career, right? And maybe down the line, because we got a lot of things coming up like AI and things that's going to be taking jobs. What if I pick a career that's not going to make me money? And things like that. And I told them, I said, it's always good to have a secondary career and things like that, right? But another thing that I really recommend a lot of people to do, and a lot of people don't know, is, just having these little businesses and things. Another thing people get benefit from is having ATM machines. So I do have an ATM machine at the barbershop that I go to. I used to cut my hair there, and then they were getting a newer building. So, and I asked the guy, I said, hey, because what they do is that they only take cash. So they don't take card or anything, so cash. So they don't have any ATM machine. Every time I go there, I stop at the gas station or stop somewhere, So I was like, hey, man, I didn't tell him I have a current ATM machine. I just told him, I said, hey, man, I have an ATM machine. Can I bring it here? We sign contract, blah, 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 yada, yada. And I told him, I said, I also have a vending machine. So I have the ones that, you can do drinks and what is it called, like snacks. All those things are residual incomes. If you actually put ATM's machine, and you can get ATM machines really cheap. They're like, you can get a used one. I wouldn't recommend getting a newer one, because if you get a used one and those things, the value stays the same. So if you're probably, you don't have a job, you say, okay, I want to have these residual incomes or something coming in, and in the meantime, or maybe I'm out of job, but I still want to be able to pay my rent, mortgage, or whatnot. You can have these little things that brings you income. Deacon Neil was just sharing it back with me when I told him about, ATM machines and vending machines. He said, yeah, I know a kid that's bringing in about 22,000 revenue a month. So if you have those, things set up to your area that maybe it is populated, have more foot traffic, you're bringing in like those income. You don't even need to work, but it's just like the brain. You need to be able to put in the work. So try, searching your community areas that are newer stores and things like that, and do those things. And yeah, so that's some secondary hobby you can do. You can even be smart, right? You don't have to have a skills to do something, but just using your brain. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
It's a really good example.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Trato. I'm interested in the ATM stuff. Because again, that's why these workshops are very good. People get ideas and stuff. Because some of us, the only mindset we had was that ATM machines are owned by banks. You understand me? I didn't know that individual. And so to your my brother, maybe with me afterward, maybe that's a trade secret. Because the question then becomes, who finances, who carries the ATM? Is it you, the owner, or is the bank, or what?
Super easy. Okay. Good question. So you get an ATM machine, right? You go to the bank, open an account, and say, hey, I have an ATM machine. This is my account, right? You can start with $500, at as low as $500, right? They got the different denominations they will set up for you. You can have the Brinks guy, because the bank will set it up for people to pick up the money. Maybe you're worried about your safety, security, and things like that. So they will go pick up the money. Whenever your ATM is out of cash, they get notified. You pay them a fee to manage those things. So I'd rather do it that way, where they have it, and then that little fee comes up. Even if you calculate your profit, right now, the barber shop is still new. I'm not making a lot, right? We actually just started because they were building the barber shop and they didn't want to have it in there. And the part is, the guys, they didn't have no vending machine. I brought up the idea. I said, hey, I didn't have a vending machine at the time, but I've been, making my research, been reading about it. So I told him, I said, hey, I got a vending machine as well. You can have those ones that do both snacks and drinks, and make tons of money out of it. This is just that simple. So you can do the same. For the vending machine, you have to fill it out yourself. Yep. They do have companies that do come, bring the different stacks and stuff. You can subcontract with them. They do that. But yeah, that's how you manage everything. The bank does it for you. Set up the account to them.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Let me finish. Hi, everybody. My name is Alvin, and what I'm about to share to you.
That's our technician, media man from.
Is so happy because Tuado and I path crossed last night on similar stuff. Will you believe that? And he's here today talking. He's into photography. I like graphic design. I like this media thing. I do have a lot of habit, but my problem is changing it into cash. Because I got a soft heart, I don't know how to charge. My problem, I do a lot of big things. Yeah, and that's my weakness, and I know I have had that for years. Yeah. Madam want me goes there to go anywhere. He'll be sitting there ready. So last night, he called me up one day and said, can you do banners, like these big banners up there? Because he know I'm into graphics too. So I said, yeah, I can try. I know there's a way to do it. I know how to design it, but the printer is my problem. Where do I print it? And then I started doing research. Now, all of a sudden I found out that the software I'm using, Canvas, can do it. You just send it to them, they will print it out. So I'm like, oh, is that easy? Because I bet beyond one guy, every day he would bluff me, my man, he would bluff me. So I said, but the thing right here, I didn't know. Then I designed a very nice banner. I sent it to him, I sent just a demo to him. Then he's like, how much charge you, Omar? I said, I don't know. I charge you $350. He said, if I were you, I would charge you $1,200 for the work. And that really just changed my whole brain. I'm like, what? He know, and he told me, he said, if I were you, he told me last night. He said, if I were you, I would charge you $1,200. Then I went like, oh. So I don't know how to charge you, and that have been my problem. So he told me there's other opportunity because I do T-shirts too, a lot of T-shirts. But sometimes I know so much things, and I'm afraid to tell people that I know how to do it because it's trying to make me a slave. Because everybody want the life free thing, they'll be coming, and I know how to charge, and I know how to say no. So for that reason, I just tell people, he tell me, I said, I don't know how to do it, but technically I know a lot. I had my own printing press back home, so I know a lot of things. And being an IT, give me a chance to digitize a lot of those things instead of me doing it like the manual way. But and I sometimes, like you say, I sit in office, get all the free time, and I just research things, and I know how to do it. But sometimes I'm afraid, like, if I do it, I'll be a prisoner instead of it giving me profit. So that's my problem. And I was so happy that when he talked about, privatizing it, so I will step up, a little bit more. So when you see I start changing, what Pastor Smoker?
Let me make my last comment on this topic. Brother Tuado, thank you so much for energizing. Even though I'll be talking, my topic will be about retirement. At retirement, one of the things that we need to start thinking about is this whole passive income you're talking about, where your money is generating income for you. Because when you get into retirement, you're not going to make the same money that you're making because you're not working for the company anymore. Yeah. So now that's when these things then the sooner we can start, the better it will be for us. I don't want to jump ahead of my own topic, but in this gathering, some of the thinking we've got to start developing right now is there is power in numbers. Mm-hmm. What a lot of people are doing now, whether it be friends or co-workers or whatever the case, these are people that identify some friends. Even in the, how they call it, the KingsMen. A KingsMan can come and say, hey guys, can we take a leap of faith? 10 people, 20 people. Can we make a commitment that in the next 5 years or the next 5 months or the next 1 year, every month we will allocate $100? 10 people come together, how much that? $1,000, right? Yeah. So 10 people come together and say, hey, every month we're going to collect $100. And he talked about the, how they call it, some of the stocks are called ETF, right? Yeah, ETF. Those are the ones that they combine that lot of portfolios they put together into one. So you're not just buying one stock. Yep. And so what a lot of people are doing right now is growing. A lot of people, what they're doing now, group of guys, in fact, there's a couple of groups that I know, they have 100. So they raise $10,000 every month. 100 people came together and said, every month we give, 100 people, yeah. One article will raise $100 every. And what they are doing, they are buying stocks, $10,000 worth of stocks every month. And he knows on the market, because the market fluctuates, there are sometimes it goes down, there are sometimes it goes up. And those guys, they give themselves, they say, in 5 years or in 10 years or whatever the case, we are definitely going to become millionaires. And those guys are making money. So here we are, we're sitting in a group. We're going to take all this knowledge. Somebody will talk to you about investment, whatever the case. And most of the time, by the time we leave these places, we finish. We don't even think about it. So I just want us to start having some practical action and say, hey, we can start. I can start even at the KingsMen level. I can start with a couple of friends. Guys, whether we like it or not, their body will get to a place that you will not be able to work. And even if you want to work, the company will tell you, say, Brother Kofa, this is our retirement age. You got to go. And when you get to that place, you're not getting your income. How are you going to pay it? How are you going to maintain the lifestyle that you have? So I want for us to start thinking about that, to start thinking about partnering with other people with like mind, because there are some people who, when you bring them board, by the time they pay the $200 in the first 2 months, they say, man, 18 years. So what I'm saying is, try to get some like-minded people and say, this is what we can afford, and let's start something. So in the next a year or 2 or 3, you never know what you're going to learn. I mean, just an advice to us.
Yeah, just to add to that real quick. Mr. Kofa actually made a really good point, right? Can you imagine just this group even doing that, and think of long term, right? It's not short term thing, right? Even with some of the stocks I'm actually investing in now, I'm thinking about my children, right? Because I mean, I was not, fortunate enough for my dad or my mom to pay for my school. So my goal is that, our goal is that maybe by the time we're 50s, 60s, we'll be able to, take care of our children and school fees, right? So that they'll be debt free when it starts, right? So that's one step.
Yeah, I'm Brother Irving. I just wanted to add to. I think I'm one of the victims of using your habits to get you money. I started my IT career since 2000. At that time, we're using Cubasis, DOS. We used to design using CorelDRAW. The only thing I know I used to design was money. To design anything, and at that time, people would bring letter to you. You need to design the letterhead. You need to design that logo. There was nothing that scanner that you had to even scan stuff. So that's where we came from. And I just retired in IT. I feel so lazy. I was just asking him to design invitation stuff for me. People used to run to me to design all kind of stuff. And I just retired using my habits and those extra skills I got to make money. I mostly just coach and just tell people what to do. And one thing that I've been thinking on I could use as my habit, because I taught at BWR. Most of my students from BWR, they're doing extremely well now. When I show you some of them and say, I taught this person, you won't believe it. I started at a very young age and started booming in IT and doing stuff. I could even sit from my basement and open a computer program and be teaching around the US, where I had different people come and just kind of like boost up their IT skills and show them what they can do in the basic programs they need to do for their day-to-day activities they do. That's another means of generating money. I have the skill set to do it. I can set up all of the curriculum. I can set up all of the PowerPoint slideshow and the training materials and stuff. But sometimes these are just reawakening stuff. You sit down, you got it. Yeah, so these are all reawakening stuff that we have those extra skills and we can turn it into money and so. No, it was just good. It was a good topic, but you and I too will talk regarding our stock issue after here too. Thank you.
Yeah. What I want to say concerning your friend you talk about, there was that thing that I went and I tried. They call this service, most of the time you see it on TV, they call it Angie service. Angie List, yeah. So I went, I put in some information to register as a handyman. And being I don't have no license, so I just wanted to try. You'd be surprised. Up to now, I can still receive calls. I receive information from them to go do stuff. Contract for people. So if you're a handy person, you get your license or whatever, you can register with NG Services. It's just that when you register, whatever job you do, you will pay every month, you will pay like fees. But a lot of jobs, because you are well known, because you don't want to go to somebody's house to do stuff, and you don't have a paper because lawsuit and all of that. So once you register on NG List, you become legit. A lot of contracts will come to you. A lot of them. Up to now, when I check my emails, I get calls that people want me, even to go face bed, to put bed together. That money they can call you. To go hang TV, hang stuff, they will call you. So long you on that list, like in a day, you get a lot of contracts. You get a listing. So wherever you want, you can just look at the listing, you look at the pay, you say, okay, yeah, I can take this, and you take it, you go do the job. Yeah.
To add to that, there's another application called Fuel Nation. So for the tech guys, so you can put your business on Fuel Nation as well, or you can register with Fuel Nation and you can get jobs. So just to add to what he said, and then Nextdoor, who knows about Nextdoor? Nextdoor, add your business on Nextdoor. It can be based off your community if you're a handy guy, especially, you can download Nextdoor, add your business profile. when you get jobs or people needing this person to do whatever the case may be, right within your community, then you get the job. So just wanted to piggyback off that.
You have to have a registered business before you get on Field Nation?
Yeah, Field Nation, correct. You can have, this is simple. I do have a registered business, even though I'm not utilizing it. And then I'm currently working on my website and everything. I already built the website, and then I'm going to launch it here shortly. But what you can do is that you can get an EIN number, so employee identification number from Revenue Service. Once you have that EIN number, just that's your business already registered with the state. So then they will ask you for that employee identification number. And then, exactly. So that's the easy way to do it.
Sometimes you don't even need a ENI number. They can use a social security number.
Yeah.
So you just need to go to Field Nation, you sign up, you put your information, then they'll run your background check and make you active. So you can start receiving job as an individual, then you can graduate to become a company. If you decide to be a company, then you can outsource job to other people to work on your behalf and you pay them. But the tricky part is that you will have to give them W-2 if they make over $1,000. So you got to track your W-2 for tax, for filing tax and all those things. So you got to be good at finance and doing this stuff. Otherwise, just work for yourself. Otherwise, just work for yourself as an individual. Okay.
Nice. It's good stuff. Thank you for sharing. In this light, I would just like to also share the fact that all these information, they're all good informations, right? And we heard from our brother here and Brother Arvin and Brother Arvin that they have these habits. But one thing I want to provoke you with today as we're in this gathering and listening to this is the fact that the Bible says we should renew our minds, right? So there's a renewing mind section, the way I see it. And how we renew our mind, specifically when we talk about habits turning to finance and all that kind of stuff. Well, I want to provoke you today, if you haven't done this, but try to know your worth financially. How much do you worth? For a long time, we overlook these things, but we've been taught from kids to this point that when you grow up, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? This is a whole different language. So we have to start thinking that way. And some of the way you provoke yourself is as a person to be in charge in this financial matrix that we're living in, you need to have some money on the bank to be able to do whatever you want to do. And one of the ways you can start doing that is to know your net worth. Put down your assets. Assets are the stuff that you have that is bringing you money. Stuff that you have to own, right? Your liabilities, your debt, whatever that is. You add it all up, you subtract your asset from your liability. Holistically, all the accounts you have, credit cards and all that stuff, you will know where you are. I think that will work you up. That's what woke me up when I heard it, something like that. It woke me up like, whoa, my net worth is negative. Even though I'm working, but my net worth is negative. I can't stay in this area. And then I started to do other things along our way. And it's like the brother said, it's not a quick fix. But we have today. We can make up our mind today and start being something today. And it just doesn't have to be big, but just a little bit of switch. A little bit of switch. Just as simple as go, sit home, calculate your asset liability. If this thing is sound like something big, personally, you can call me and I can give you, I have a formula sheet I can share with you and you can be able to derive that number. And that can be a place to start from. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tuado, thank you for the presentation. But I was just thinking a couple of stuff. One, what can we do now as KingsMen to get this started? Especially that goes to Brother Kofa when you talk about, many a time we go to this meeting or we go to the conferences and We get all these good ideas. The moment we leave, it becomes another story. But I think we need to consider seeing how we can get this started. When we were talking when I entered here, we see the number here. If you notice that we got a lot of men that are not here today. But tell me, if we have 5 million here or people that are well established here, when you got those things, you got people that are following you. So eventually these meetings will obviously grow from where we are right now. So my encouragement here is to see how we can start this stuff. It may not start big, but we can start with 10% or 15 or 20%. Let's get it rolling. And the next thing is, I noticed that most of the time we want to be concerned about ourselves. That's a good idea. I can get this thing running, and yeah. But if you look at the world right now, it's about networking. So if you're not doing networking, you're just thinking about yourself. You're going to grow, but we're going to take us 6 months. It's going to take you 5 years. So I just wanted to encourage us to see how we can look into that. Let us not wait. The reason I'm bringing it up because I think he's talking about investment in small businesses. So we can talk about that maybe after here and do some proposal and see how we can get it running and have some policy in line. Those that want to go for it, we start up and people can fall in line later. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
There is just no way we can all overemphasize how beautiful the section is. I'm quite sure we all believe that it's very powerful. As much as it is powerful, we are also, like what you said, Brother Jesse, we are also want to be careful that we don't make a decision as a team that this is what we're going to do, but that this is what the KingsMen asking to go do. But you can put your own personal team together and do whatever you would like to do. Because we don't want to come back and say, okay, yeah, you told me to do this and I did it, and then, it come back. You all understand what I'm talking about? But we really, I'm jotting down. Thank you. I am really jotting down some things here, and I'll be reaching out to all of these people because for me, I've been in stock since, let's say, 2002, 2004. I've been there. I know just what he said, invest with money that you're willing to lose. I know what even in a daytime losing $10,000. I know in a daytime winning $10,000. Not even day, seconds. 2 seconds, you made $10,000. I know all of those things. So I've been there, and I know it. But at the same time, it's a good thing for us to really do it. So let's use this session as a networking that when we leave from here, we'll be able to get to each one of these group here and say, you know what, I like what he said, I want to do it, and I'm willing to do it, I will take a risk. Let us, my encouragement to you is, let us take the risk after this session. Let's not take this information and go sit over here. Let's take a risk and improve ourselves. But Akufa, I know I heard you talk about that before in the church. I don't know why you are sneaking behind my back and doing it already. We're eating, putting some friends together, but I'm definitely going to come to you, and I'm going to look at some faces here that we'll all gather together and start investing in ETF, because some of the investment, when we do it as a team, it works better sometimes than as an individual. ATM basis, my man, we all come join the ATM team. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I tried to, I didn't, but I didn't know that, you are much in the stars, which is, there is nothing in my life I love to do than invest. I tell God, I say, the Bible always says what is in your hands. Then I tell God, I say, but this is what I love. Why you get it? Why you allow me to be burning all the time? That's what I love to do, but you burning me all the time. And I'm not going to do nothing else but invest, because that's what I like to do. So maybe I need to strategize or rethink my plan, my process, and how I'm doing it. So I can tell you, I'm going to get back to all of these people that I see, their faces I can see as so can, Gavin house, but as your leader, I am begging you, let's not get this information and sit down over it. Let's network with each other after this conference, and we all start working. Going to your job will not make you rich. No. So you're focusing on, I had to go to work, I got to pay this bill. Sometimes you got to put the bill down and put that money in investment and let them be calling you. Let me call you, but put your money in investment and see it. Because the money they're taking from you, what did they do with it? They invest in it. Okay? But you are focusing on, I'm not going on vacation because I got to pay this bill and this and that. No. Sometimes, heck with it. They will call me, they will tell me, but I'm putting the money in investment. When I get small thing for now, I do it. So let's do that. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's it.
Let's give an ovation. That was good. Yeah. So nobody believe me more. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Totes. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name right, but Tuato. My apologies, Brother Tuato. Thank you for your presentation. Very brilliant. And again, like what CF was saying, for me, this information is not new to me. We have been getting it and getting it and getting it. Last session, we had Dr. Howard, who is very versatile in every area, presented a brilliant strategy to us about getting rich. He talked about real estate, investment. Like he was saying, we get information and go back and sit down and do nothing about it. We come back, try to refill out. We go back empty. We have to be very intentional of what we want to do, or else we just continue to come and year it and go and year it and go and year it and go. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think the next item on here is, I think we're done with the question and stuff. So I think we're going to go to break. Yes, we're going to do. You want to say something? Yeah. Okay. No, go ahead and finish.
Okay, yeah, just before we go on break, I just want to let you know that right after break, we're going to be having a business section. And this is a part of the conference that we had not been included before. And as I told you earlier, that we are the pioneer when it comes to KingsMen ministry. So this is going to be the very first one again that we'll be doing a business section where we'll be discussing the state of the region. I will provide a state of the region to you, and then I got issues here that we need to deliberate on and come up for resolution. So that's what we'll be doing right after that, and before we go into the last presentation with our Brother Kai and CFO. So, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, just an encouragement. We can only succeed when we come together. We can only move forward if we come together. So I personally will tell you something, I get very frustrated. Look at us. We got 3 churches here. And we're talking about taking charge. Opposed to doing somewhere different. Well, yeah. I get frustrated sometimes. You will push people to come to meeting, prayer. Nobody coming, so now you just the few that are doing it, and you get burned up, you're tired, you drop the ball. So I think for me, the starting point is we should be intentional, come together. If our chairman just say, okay, so let's have like 5-minute meetings, or maybe Friday or Saturday, there's a reason why that meeting is being called. Let's come to it. That will show that we really want to be part of this body. If we disengage, we're not going to go anywhere. We'll get all the information here. It will be for nothing. So just my little encouragement to us. We can do it. We'll come together. Thank you. So we're going to go to the back there. Deacon Neil and I are going to sell the food, and then we'll roll and go eat, and then come back and listen to CFO.
So while they're doing that, but try to say here yet for a few seconds. Anybody who have a question or so before they can call it back there, yeah, please go ahead. You know, I know we still got a question to be asking.
Father, I have a question.
Yeah.
All the investment idea we have here, we can do it and help the church.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
all glory, all power belongs to God. All honor, all glory, all power belongs to God. All honor, all glory, all
Thank you. Thank you. That was all. That was important. All honor, all glory, all power belongs to you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Addison, for that powerful time of worship after eating physical food, and we get the spiritual part of it. So thank you for that. Next, we will call. This is what we have here. All right, so our next item for today is session 3, which will be a discussion on states of the union, and that will be done by our May West Regional Conference Chairman, Brother Walter Ure. While he's taking a call from the back over there, if it's okay with you all, we can continue praise and worship a little bit, put all back in that spirit, and then when he's done, then we can hear from him.
Is it the business section, right?
It's still the union right now. Yeah, he's right. Okay. All right. So our chairman is back, so he will take over from here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I am about to deliver the State of the Region address. Amen. Yeah, we have had very important information we've been sharing there today, so we continue to we would like to continue that. I will try to make sure that the State of the Union region address be pretty short, so we can give more time to for insurance and retirement. Those are two different topics that we'll be talking about. Yeah. Yeah. So we need more information. We have we have allotted just 45 minutes for our presentation, then another 45 minutes for question and answer. We realize that we always got more questions and that we need more answers for. So I will try to be pretty brief on this, and I would like to take this time again to welcome the Vice President of Harvest Fargo KingsMen, Brother Mansco. Thank you for showing up to the conference. We appreciate your coming. All right. The state of the Midwest region is strong. Amen. I want to declare unto you that the state of the Midwest region is strong. Yeah. The Midwest region was born 3 years ago in Fargo, North Dakota, on October 2nd, 2021, when it held its first conference. At the end of that conference, the election and induction of its leadership provided an umbrella that charted the direction of the union. I would like to pause a little bit. Unfortunately, the teleprompter is giving me some tough time, so I'm not able to look at it directly. Through the years, there have been some successes and some challenges. The successes lifted the region to higher heights, while the challenges impeded the trajectory of the local KingsMen Fellowship. The successes of the union can be marked by its establishment of fraternal relationships with other regional fellowships within Harvest Intercontinental Ministries Unlimited, as well as local connections. Since its formation, the Midwest region can boast of its participation into KingsMen U.S. national conferences as part of its regional successes. Additionally, the birth of Harvest Elk River KingsMen Fellowship, which was more than a year ago, along with their participation in our past conference held at Harvest Minneapolis, are considered a remarkable achievement of the union. In short, with the establishment of Harvest Elk River and that fellowship attending the conference is a success of the union, because the establishment of the union, that fellowship was not part of the union at that time. The leadership of the union would like to state that each of the local KingsMen Fellowship had experienced some successes and challenges. The local KingsMen presidents had narrated that the commitment and involvement in ministry work by the KingsMen saw growth in their local fellowships and kept the ministry viable and participatory. In Fargo, the commitment by the KingsMen helped Harvest Fargo to purchase and dedicate their new building. In Harvest Maple Grove, the KingsMen participated in eliminating mortgage payment on their property and continue to host monthly fellowships. At Harvest Minneapolis, the KingsMen maintained their regular monthly fellowships in members' homes and supported many programs held at the church. In Elk River, the KingsMen involvement was instrumental to the relocation of the church. These efforts could be magnified if we all can be involved. And this is a call I am trumpeting. On the contrary, the Midwest regional leadership, along with its local fellowships, were plagued by seamless of challenges reaching from lack of commitment to the growth of the region to poor membership attendance. Subsequently, the lack of personal commitment to the ministry's work is impairing the viability of the region. The lack of personal commitment to the regional KingsMen work is impairing the viability of this body. It seems apparent that prioritization of the KingsMen work by some KingsMen is absent. This can be evidenced by the attendance here at this annual conference. The regional leadership has no doubt that KingsMen are engaged and bombarded by many pressing issues from family, work, and societal obligations. However, the scripture says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of these things can be added." And I want to pause a little bit, which is Matthew 6:23. I want to pause here and just state that when I was preparing this speech yesterday or last night, I had no idea that Pastor Smoker would come today and press on those very scripture. Seek ye first. And it's just a information that God is asking us to prioritize his work. If we prioritize God's work, a lot of things in our lives will be prioritized. And I know that Pastor Smoker just walked in. So I would just like to re-echo what I just said, that when I was preparing this statement, this speech, I never knew that the very statement that I am alluding to, Pastor Smoker will be talking about it, that we need to seek first the kingdom of God and all other things will be added. It is also important to note that the vision of the KingsMen is to build an army of men equipped to lead and establish God's kingdom, so no man, woman, or child dies without Christ. If this is to be realized, we therefore must include the KingsMen in our prioritization of our engagements. We are on a mission to equip kingdom-minded men to lead in their homes, in their churches, and their communities. This completes our call to the Great Commission, go and make disciples of all nations. Matthew 28:16. If we are moving the ministry forward, the collective efforts of every KingsMen must be marshaled to take on this task. If we need to move this vision forward, we need the collective efforts of every KingsMan. Let us pause and just see around us that even in our local fellowship, the attendance here today can almost represent just one local fellowship attendance, men's fellowship. Now we are saying that the attendance here today represent 4 Harvest Intercontinental Ministry KingsMen, 4. So this brings us back to what are we prioritizing? What are we saying that is more important than spending some time working in the house of God? Therefore, I am presenting to this conference these challenges in the hope of reawakening the region. It is up to you, delegates, to devise plans and strategies to mitigate these challenges crippling the region. In view of the above, I call on this conference to address the following challenges in an effort to move the region forward and subsequently keep the KingsMen more viable. The first challenge that we are having, that we need your support today at this conference, that we are seeking your support, your information, your suggestion to move the KingsMen forward. The first one is lack of personal commitment to prioritize KingsMen's events. That's the first thing I would like us to bring suggestion on the floor. How do we commit ourselves to the KingsMen task in order to keep the region more viable? 2, low attendance of KingsMen events. And lastly, low support given to the ministry's initiatives and events. The conference now seeks your suggestions and strategies to address the above issues. Now, therefore, I would like to thank you for the opportunity you have afforded Midwest Regional leadership to serve you. With your support and commitment, we can continue to keep the region viable and serviceable to the global ministry of Harvest Intercontinental Ministry Unlimited. I thank you. Thank you for the time. Now, as part of our business section, we'll be soliciting your suggestion on these 3 issues so we can to help us to move forward. So we have our Secretary General. I know he's basically taking down, doing recording. Maybe he can dedicate someone to help him take down some notes or suggestion on the floor. So let's pick a suggestion on the floor on lack of personal commitment to prioritize KingsMen events. What can we do to encourage people to encourage the commitment of people.
Well,
Yeah, you use this.
no, you.
That's okay. I'm a moderator.
Okay, we're good. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your message to the KingsMen Regional Conference. I would personally suggest that in order for us to tackle the disengagement of the brothers in this union, is that we should start interacting with one another more. Meaning that if Harvest Minneapolis KingsMen having an event, let us know. The more we fellowship, the more we know one another, the more we'll be engaging. Harvest Minneapolis brothers are having stuff, we don't know about it. And we having stuff here, they don't know about it. Eggroy having issue, we don't know about it. Is to me, in my view, it shows some division, and we are not divided. We are under one umbrella, led by Bishop Johnson, who is the head, right? So if we start to engage here, Minneapolis brother and Maple Grove, Egg River, we all should be one. Come together. If I cry, we all cry together. I think that will, open the door for the broader region.
Thank you. Interrelationship. Thank you. Brother Rich?
Yeah, I don't know. So you got lack of personal commitment.
Lack of personal commitment is the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Then we'll go to low attendance to KingsMen events.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's part of it, but I just want to give a suggestion to that move forward.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Maybe you can decide which book we put it in. So, I was thinking on so for Minneapolis KingsMen, we regularly have a monthly meetings. So I'm just bringing it to this body. I'm sorry for the brothers that are in Fargo. Maybe they're not here, but I was thinking if we could have like a monthly meeting and then and then rotate it from. Like next month, we come to our brothers who's here in Maple Grove is home. The following month we go to one brother who lives who's in Egg River home, and just kind of rotate it. I think that will kind of help to bring us together as a group.
Oh, thank you, Rich, for that. Let me provide some clarification here. The issues that are being raised here, or the challenges that we have here, are what the various fellowships are experiencing.
Okay.
So we, as a leadership, we just bring it to you that Minneapolis, Maple Grove, Egg River, and Falco are experiencing lack of commitment to prioritize KingsMen events. So it's not actually a leadership, because a leadership is made of these people, all of us. So I hear your suggestion, but then they come back to what they are already doing. Each of the fellowship that listed are having monthly meetings, but they are very poorly attended.
Okay.
Very, very poorly attended.
Okay.
Yep.
So more engagements. So let us engage.
What can we do to get a commitment? That's what we.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So my suggestion is, let's engage with members more. Leadership engage with, members in their various fellowships more.
How?
Like, okay, so I'm the president for Minneapolis fellowship. Like, how many times have I taken phone to maybe call, maybe just few, but not all of them. Like, call them maybe on a, regular basis to find out how they're doing. Not only call them when there's a meeting coming up.
Okay.
So let's, engage more engagement.
Establish more relationship.
Establish more relationship. Yeah, that's
Thank
all.
you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank you. I think one thing that we can be doing is to have this awareness of tracking, right? So vaguely, we say, all right, like Brother Dave was saying, have I called too many people? So one thing we can start doing is to start tracking all our different activity. If I'm calling guys to talk to them, if we're having meeting, but be intentional as a group to start tracking. Because when we are tracking, it gives us that awareness of, are we meeting up or are we not meeting up? Then we will, we can kind of navigate around it. But most of the time, I think we just have in our head, okay, things are not like this, but I mean, nobody really have any specific kind of number to attach to it, a meeting, how many people attended, all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So
you're
tracking
talking
will
about
be good.
tracking attendance.
Not only tracking, but tracking activities and having kind of like when you trying to do something, you want a result. So having that loop to come back and say, okay, this is what we're trying this time around, it did not work. This time we're doing this, just to have that kind of tracking system.
But
everything
how
that
do we track low attendance? I mean, I think the point I'm saying is that we already have low attendance. What then can we really do to make people to get excited and commit to coming? Because when people are excited, committed to coming, then we eliminate low attendance.
One thing we can do besides the addition to the tracking is maybe we need to think about ways to give people responsibilities. Maybe we have to enlarge how responsibility distributed around within the local group. Because most time, if people have the honest on something, they tend to want to keep on that task. So for right now, the way we're structured, we have the president and secretary, right? And so maybe we need to think about opening things up a little bit to give more people some kind of responsibility that will kind of make them feel like they're part of something that they will want to, take control of.
Okay, thank you.
Let me speak into that because I'm one of the leaders. So let me address the issue of tracking first. So I think it's a good idea, but I don't know how that will have an effect on engagement, gathering the brothers together, right? And I'll give you an example. And we have two WhatsApp pages, one for the regional men's conference and one for the brother conference. I will give you an example of real life situation, right? We started planning this conference last year. And every time we put the information in there, if it is not me, our chairman, Brother Richie, or Deacon Neil, or few of the guys, nobody else do it. And we all got smartphone. So for me, the question is that, not question, but it is not something that we're not doing. We're reaching out, but people are just not engaged. Just not engaged, right? You brought two ideas. The first one was tracking and enrollment what? Okay, so, and that's my issue as well. And I will speak for our local church. And all of you guys here know that I love you. I love our church, love the men. Yesterday, how many of us were here cleaning to get the place ready? We didn't have the information, we put it up. We having our conference. Can we gather the church and clean out? It was just three of us. So these things are happening. We communicating. Even the payment issue that we have for the whole regional men's conference. Last year we started talking about payment, encouraging people to pay. Nobody ever pay attention to it. The few of us. Until we regroup, came out and said, you know what? Let's cut down the price to $75. Even with that, people are not engaged. So we're doing it, but people are not just engaged. So I think one of the things we can do, like I was saying, maybe when we start going to the local churches, you know, and not only when there's an event, go there, visit your brothers, call them, and see what's going on.
Okay. Before I make my point, may I just see those from Fargo here? Okay, those from Maple Grove, and then those from Minneapolis. Okay, I'm saying this to say that from my own point of view, one thing I think leadership or each of everyone of us need to start doing is to let us know that we all are part of a team. Begin to educate people that this is not a prove your point thing. My church is better than the church, or my church can do this than the other church. We are all one. So I think that's one thing we need to start doing a good mobilization on, making each of us to know that this is harvest. We are one harvest. We are just in different locality because of our locations or wherever. We need to make people understand we are one. We are not competing. We are part of a team. And he already played in most of my second point, that is the group chat. Have it being more effective. People, whenever there's whatever being raised there, people responding, people checking in with one another right there. Oh, gentlemen, how was your day today? Or whatever pops up, getting people point of view. We all, but it's like most of us, we kind of see those texts and we don't say anything. We just leave it with just leadership. So we need to work on our own selves, work on ourselves by making each of us know that it's not a person thing. It's a group effort that we all need to be part of. And maybe we'll have some progress from that forth.
We have, I would like to keep 10 more minutes of my time to the next presentation because they have valuable information, so there are 5 more minutes for this.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of the points have been very good points, Brother Sumo and Brother. What we are experiencing in the KingsMen is a reflection of the greater thing that is happening in the church. If you look at the statistics in church, you will find out among the different demographic, the men most of the time we are the lowest when it comes to attendance, and so that boils down to almost what the pastor was preaching about. What are we in charge? Most of us send our children, our wife to go to church, and sometimes we don't even go to church. And and so some of these things that are happening, it speaks to the bigger issue. Why is it that men, when it comes to the things of God, most of the time will always lukewarm? Sometimes. So we need to look at it from that standpoint, and the background that I came from, because I was talking about I came from the Catholic Church, and in the Catholic Church, the thing that used to happen, I used to bring men to church to mass when they were member of the Night of St. John. When they say the Night of St. John is standing out today, there are people who you will never see them to mass for months. But by the time they say the Night of St. John is appearing, all of them will come to church. There is something about men that they love to be part of some kind of group that will make them to stand out. I am not saying that harvest we can go down the line of Night of St. John, having society, whatever the case. But the leadership and us, we need to sit down and say, what is it that we can really bring into the fold that men would like to be part of? That's how men operate. Men, when it comes to certain things, they want to be, that kind of macho thing. So in the Night of St. John, they have degrees. You want to be in first degree. You want to go to the second degree, because when you show up, you will get initiated, and you will go to different, and those guys will show up. So we need to sit down sometime, come up with some strategy. What can we do to galvanize men that they will feel that kind of thing that will make them to come? Spiritual things. I'm not talking about society stuff here. So I'm not. So I'm just giving Niles and John as an example.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to stretch on a couple of stuff. I think the first thing I want to point out, we need to take prayer seriously. And as men, I think when Pastor Otero talk about that, I mean, we need to see how we can, I mean, we go to these activities, but when we prioritize prayer, I think a lot of stuff will be done. And the second thing I want to talk about, our pastors taking the lead in some of these things. I'm not talking about the ladies, the men. I want to say, Pastor Otero, thank you for today, and Pastor Smogo, Pastor Noah. But the other pastors are men. They are not here. There's something that we need to, when you're doing these things, people are watching you. So we need to encourage our pastor, they should not just come to event that concerns them. Maybe if they're not speaking, then they're not going to come. Some pastors said they don't even know that today was the conference. That's the most important, that's a surprising thing to me. So I think we need to consider that. And lastly, if we can have some mentorship program for men. I mean, like, we got some young people in the church, and if we can help to mentor those young people, okay, I'm mentoring this person, it will also help you to live right. The reason why some of the men are not coming because of some of the things that they are involved with, but when you start mentoring people, you know that child looking up, that person is looking up to you, so you always want to keep the standard. So those are just the point I wanted to bring up. Thank you.
All right.
Can I just say something? Prelude to what you said concerning assigning responsibility to people, like people getting some responsibility or to do. The question that would be asked, are those people that you are assigning the responsibility to, are they willing to come in and help and do what you are assigning them to do? That's why we should ask ourselves. Like someone say, if we want to fix something, we shouldn't just go to fix something. We should fix ourselves, then we'll be able to fix what we want to fix. So if we are assigning responsibility, are the person willing to accept the responsibility? Because it's something like for me, I must admit, at times me and the chairman, we can do, but there are things then yeah, at times when he ready, he can get on my head, and when I look at it, I say, no, that man, he hard to deal with. You know, the thing I won't give it up. You know, at times, yeah, he right. At times I can say the thing I won't give it up. I can say to myself, like, when I see a call and thing there, I say, no, it doesn't make me to get me hotter. Even the flyer word, yeah. Even the flyer, when you face the flyer, the man will say, no, the other warrior, move the wall from here, put it here. And I say, but anything here that is seen thing, he said, no, it's not the way it's supposed to be. But that commitment, that's so I can sit down for long. So me and my boy, Avi, when I send the thing to Avi, when we sit down to face it, he can say, yeah, I know that man ready you. I say, my man, I ate it. They fly up with jelly fish. The man say, you know what, George? My man, that just face it. You know, the commitment. At times myself can be busy too. I'm working all those things, but the time, are they willing to put in time to carry this thing on? Even the whole planning. When I was coming, I call my boss. He said, oh, my man, but the way the planning went, most people are not involved. They are not involved. So how are we going to do this to get people involved into this thing? That's the thing. The willingness and the commitment.
Yeah, hold on, Deacon Leo. So, I am of the belief that you can't give somebody a responsibility if they don't even know what they're doing in the first place. They're not engaged. It will just be you that giving the responsibility. It will be your work to come back and do exactly what you're asking them to do. Okay, so Deacon Leo, just before you go, let me recognize Pastor Menska. Okay, he or you want to say something?
Okay. I think the first thing that we need to do, or the question I want to ask, since the inception of the Midwest Regional Men, has there been any evaluation from the first conference that was held that birthed the entire Midwest stuff in Fargo? Then we came to Minneapolis, and now we are here. And when we do the evaluation and assess, and are we attracting more men, or are men coming, or they falling apart? What can we do to bring those men together? Because my first thing I would say, if we want a strong and vibrant regional men group, then we start within the local church. If a local church men group become very vibrant, we'll see it with the regional group. And so that should be our core, our whole foundation. We need to strengthen our local men group. We need to be bringing forth various information or things that we need to utilize to, if something is working with Minneapolis men group, what is it that we don't have it here at Maple Grove, and how can we interact to strengthen the other group? And the same thing with Egg River, the same thing with Fargo. I think that will bring a complete integration. When we integrate this various group, we see it showing forth. And if the group in Maple Grove, if the men group are not coming, they're not doing anything, it will show forth in the regional group. The same way. So I think we need to start focusing, how can we strengthen the local group, and that we will engage one another, that we kind of spill over to the regional group. That's my own opinion.
Thank you, Pastor Menska. Yeah, so Pastor Menska, to your question about survey, yes, we do a survey. The first survey, the first conference, we had a conference. There was a survey that went out, and it went out to the entire group. I remember in that survey, there were questions about how can we, what went wrong and what went right. How can we plan for next conference? Okay, I don't know how many people answered those questions, and it was the same problem. I remember, I think it was Brother David Wilson or either Brother Uri, encouraging people to go back, give us feedback so that we know how to plan for upcoming conference. It wasn't done. Last year we had the conference at Minneapolis, the same thing. We brought out surveys. It was few people who went on and completed that survey. He called me, he was very frustrated about it. And he said, how will we move forward if people are not answering this question? We don't know what we did right or wrong. So the question for me is that it's not that we are not asking those questions, we are asking the question to fix things, but people are not giving on a response.
All right, let me
just say one thing. It's not. I don't want to bring it into a dialogue. When I talk about survey, let's take for instance now, we're talking about individual survey. We send individual survey. Now we had the regional conference. Everyone, what was the impact? Now, if people don't want to answer, look, on the internet, the regional level, we come to the local level. We attended the conference. We all represented. How did you see the conference in our own meeting and bring out? So what's your suggestion? That's engaging. And because individual people don't go there, they don't want to do it, but we can bring it out in our local group and say, look, what did we learn from this conference? What do you think can we do? Then the local group will take it now to them and say, look, from our grouping, this is how they feel and what we need to do. That's what I'm saying. I'm just.
Okay, so we will take that as a leader, and then we'll see what to do with that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Trust. All right, so then I'll make this quick. So, yeah, what I said and what he was responding to was the fact that, okay, so there's another thing we can do. I think now that we're speaking about this, one thing that we can do, because this is addressed specifically to local engagement, one thing we can do, I think, when we walk out of this meeting, let's make sure that the very president or the group leader in every harvest group, let's try to have that connection and start to talk more amongst each other and start to share what are the things that are working and what are the things that are not working. And as far as commitment, you ask me, what if you ask somebody to do something or do you have willing persons to do it? Well, to me, a willing person is someone that is showing up to the meeting. So if anyone is showing up to the meeting, they are willing. That's the starting point. And we should be able to figure out ways maybe to rotate different roles. You know, like the leadership president thing. I mean, it's president per se, but let other men have the opportunity to unofficially spearhead things. And let's step back a little bit and see how they're going to do it. Right? So let's have that sort of thing going. So I will be, because of time, I will leave it there. But, you know, and just about the same tracking I was talking about, that's what Pastor Masca was talking about. I think it's brilliant. Whatever we do, we need to track it. Okay. And we have to bring it down to the level where our peers will understand and we all can figure out a solution around it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We'll take that, Pastor will take that information and then we will make sure that the local presidents are hearing you. It is what you're actually saying is that you're giving it to the local presidents to ask their local members what they say that they learned today, how can they make it better. So it's not on a national level. On a national level, we'll send a survey out, but we're asking local presidents to take that role and go ahead with that. And Deacon, what you also said was that we should share role here and there. That's the team model, and that is a team model that we are encouraging everybody to do. In every local president, go with the team model. What that means is that it's not the president that has to call meeting or that has to bring the agenda. Everybody on it, even when you are not in official, but you see that Brother Harris love to work, but he's not a member of the team. Bring him on board. And, because everyone should not look up to the president and take a leadership. Make sure that we as a team, we all have to do things together to improve the body. Nothing about president. It's all about what? The team. So it's a teamwork. And I will just,
yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pastor Smoker, I don't know if a question you have or you want to make a statement. We need to give CFO a lot of time so that I think he got a lot of information to share with us.
Okay, but just quick.
Okay.
I think, I mean, we all saying that we want this thing to be vibrant, we want it to be alive, we want it to be productive and fruitful. I also think that, I mean, in what you were saying, I think that pastors should play a major role. We the pastors for the local churches. Yes. We got a major role to play. I don't think we're doing enough. Okay, so in other words, we got to be promoted. We got our men leaders in the church. We got to conscientize them of the importance of this group, that we're not all by ourselves. Thirdly, we need to emphasize more our goals and our objective. What the vision? We got to always cast the vision, you know. So someone come and ask, what's the vision of KingsMen? What's the goal? What we're trying to accomplish? That thing should always be even flashed on our internet, you know. People should be au courant with it and share, because that's the thing people will run with. That's the thing will motivate people. That's the thing will inspire people. So I think that I know it's there, but we can put it on the on the internet, local pastor, make sure they have it. And during our Sunday worship service, make sure that it is announced. But I think the local pastors have a major role to play. I think we're not doing enough. I think so. For example, look at here. I'm alone here today. It shouldn't be that. Where my men? So I need to go back and either rebuke them or sack them.
Okay, so
okay, you understand what I say? So
yeah.
I mean, I think because I really think that the local, the people, the men are in local churches. So that's it. So I'm thinking now when I go back, what I'm going to do, either I rebuke, either I sack, or I suspend, or I expel. I shouldn't sack now. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. All right, it's okay.
Okay, so Reverend Smoker, respectfully, I would like to submit to you that I think this is our problem. All of us, we don't follow information. Looking here, our vision is right there. The missions, everything here. Not that we don't have it, we do.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. You said we don't articulate it.
It's here, but it's on the paper here. But for example, if I go on the site, I go on the page. Maybe I will see greetings. I will see, this person's birthday and the person did, which is good. But we should be able to portray our goals and our vision. Put it there. You'll be surprised. Let me tell you something. People don't easily read, especially the society we are in. They hustle too much. I mean, you will agree with me. Yeah, but maybe they hustle too much. So
we will take that as forerunner of the region, and we will work with it, and we will gather input from everybody how to do it. Okay, so thank you for that.
Let me interrupt you here. Also, talking about the survey, there are some people like me. I like to use myself as an example because I'm old school, and you can't teach old or new trick. So in the church, they got Cash App, Zelle. You be surprised that I still find pleasure in putting my money in envelope to give it. So I enjoy it. So I don't do Cash App. I like to work that I put in the box. But it's okay. So what I'm saying, even the survey, there are people who will not even want to do it electronically. So we got to even maybe print it. There are some people the pastor take it to the local church and say, look, this form, you got to fill this thing and write it. Some of you can go this way, you can go paper, you go paper. Because even on the internet, they got paperless and they got electronic. But we got to make it work. That's my point.
With that, you're talking about finances and stuff. So
if I say you talk about finance, let me say this. That one of the things I got problem with, the church don't let to talk about money. And I hate that. Our Father owns the land. The silver and gold belongs to him. We should talk about money in this church. In fact, this is what I'm thinking. That every local church should be able to pay to every conference coming. Let the local church make a contribution. For example, let every local church say we give $500 towards it. So it create that kind of ownership.
All right.
That's what I say. So
okay.
When we talk about money, don't be saying, how we do it. Look, call me Pastor Smoker, we need $50 to do form. Okay. I would see if I don't get it, I get it. If I get it, I get it. Or I can contact some of my. There are some potential people in the church. You can just call them. They're generous. You can just call them and say something going on. They say, okay, Pastor. But I'm saying we need to make the thing work, and then we can create some room that because of this can happen. We just got to make it work. I'm taking my ownership. As pastor, I got to play my role. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, and we will definitely talk about that in our leadership. Okay. We go 6 minutes or time for our next speaker. We will have Brother Kai? Kai, okay. Brother Kai Colley, who will be speaking to us on life insurance and retirement. And then after he's done, the next voice we'll be hearing is that of my own big brother. I call him CFO, Brother Kofa. He'll be speaking to us on the same topic. So... Yeah. Okay. So let me clarify. Brother Cody will be speaking on life insurance, and then Brother Kofa will be speaking on retirement. Do you need help with that? Brother Collie? Yeah, he will help you with that when he don't drink that. Don't drink his picture. Brother Mesco, thanks for coming, my man.
Every church based on the ministry, pay
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I'm so happy to be here because this is my first meeting, my first time attending this main meeting, and I'm very grateful for that. And but today I'm going to be very brief because I have 20 minutes. We have to split the time, so I'll be very brief. Yep. Just a little bit about myself. My name is Kai Colley. I live here in the Minneapolis area. And when it comes to career, this was not what I started before. But yeah, I went to school for 2 years to operate CNC machine and work in production. That's what I used to do. I did it for a couple of years. But something actually made me to change career because I used to live with a friend of mine. A year ago, he passed away. But the both of us were there. We didn't know anything about how we can protect ourselves, how we can have something, because in this country, insurance is everything. Anything you go buy, talk about insurance. But a lot of us do not know about insurance. We know about car insurance, we know about other things, but when it comes to insuring ourselves, we think that it's another expense we add into our bills. Yeah, so we don't really go into that to really help ourselves. So this time around, I will just tell you a little story before I can go. What really put me into this thing to change my career? Because this guy and I were like brothers. We lived together. But then what happened was he went to Africa. I don't know, the story is so long. When he came back, he got sick. But we all have insurance. We all have insurance to their job. Okay. We all have insurance to our very job. That's the only insurance he had. But then when he got sick, the sickness dragged so long. This is the reason why I get that brochure to every one of you. Living benefit is one of the most important things about insurance. It's not just putting money somewhere and then you say, okay, when I die. But the living benefit, the thing about insurance, you can also use that living benefit to get cash from your policy, to use it for different things, to pay down, maybe to one of the things a lot of parents do. You can use your insurance to pay for your children's college. So you don't have to do the 529. That 529 is restricted. Yeah, whenever you plan that 529 for your child, the child has to use that particular money for school. But this insurance, you can use it if the child decides to say, okay, I don't want to go to formal college, I want to go to something else, I want to do let's assume that the child decided to say, okay, they want to do something else, maybe go to another trade school or something. They can use that money for that. If you decide to say, okay, I don't want to give this money to my child, I want them to reach our age, maybe 25 when they are getting married so that they are mature to get this money so they can lavish it. They can use that money for their first home buying. They can use that money for different things. And you don't have to pay it at all because it is a collateral from your life insurance you're using to borrow from. You understand? So let me get back to the story quick before I start. So this guy, he got sick, and then we all used to go. He absorbed all the money he had. I think he had like 50 or I don't know how many thousand in his courage at joy. He absorbed everything. Now he lay into the hospital every night, and then the people got to come. I don't know who all went to the hospital, but someone come and ask you for your bill. Government got to come in to help. It was so bad, and the worst part of it, he died. We didn't have nowhere to turn. He was building houses back home where he was investing all his money, but he never had insurance. It was not easy to put down, to even get 10,000 to get him buried. It was not easy for us. We, the friends and the family. He didn't have a lot of people here. So it was hard. So this is the reason why when I saw this, after we left from there like a year ago, I said, you know what? I think I need to change of course to come back and learn something that I can help my community. Yeah, because every now and then we check on Facebook, we see GoFundMe. And they GoFundMe. After they collect that little money, they give it to you, everybody turn their back. It's just how when you die, people turn their back. They don't know what happened again. That's how it is. They will turn their back and you will be there struggling. You don't have anything. And statistically, they're saying that 40% of Americans lose income when the breadwinner die within 6 months because they did not leave anything behind to help, the family so that they can get in debt. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about, I know a little bit small, I don't know if you guys can see. We're going to be talking about different kinds of insurance. If you look up there, there are different kinds, but specifically I'll be talking about term life, where a lot of us know about. And then I'll be talking about index universal life, which is a permanent life. But all these are different. They are all good financial tools that we can use. They are all good. But basically, I like to talk about the term because term is something that a lot of us have. Term life, yeah, this is a definition. It says it's a good option of budgeting. Concern, this policy provides coverage for a set period of time. Like it provides coverage for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and 30 years. After that, this is the bad part of it. Because a lot of the people whenever we go, I notice, statistically, they are saying that, let's say 58% of men in America, they are owner of life insurance. It means we men, we are in charge, as just how the same thing we say about being in charge. Every man here knows something about life insurance, but when I went on a field, it was different. Every hospital I visited, especially in our African setting, most men are hesitant of taking life insurance. They always having an excuse. In fact, they will tell their wife, no, it's too expensive. We can't do this. But forgetting to know that statistically, it shows that men die first. Men die. Women live longer than men. So this is the reason why. Yeah. Yeah, so but I don't know how Solomon really managed with all those people. But it is really tough to do. You understand? So we're gonna be talking like when it comes to index universal life insurance. Can you go up a little bit for me? Index universal life insurance has to do with the index strategy. That is, they put your money into the market. Later on, I will do the demonstration and you will see it. You put the money into the market, and then they are investing it. If the market go down, you do not lose money. But if the market go up, you get credited to your account with the interest that come on it. Understand? So it's a very good strategy. It also have living benefit, chronic illness. If you look there, you see the different tab. It has all the living benefit that you have. Although term life have living benefit, but you cannot get cash value. Yeah. So this type of insurance have the same living benefit, but the advantage of index universal life is it have cash value. And for example, if you have one policy, you can today, for example, I late on my bill and then maybe I did not do overtime or something, so I didn't have enough money. I can go right back into my account and change the date. Or I can call the policy, I mean the company, and tell them, you know what, say I have cash value. I want you to use some of my cash value to pay for this Monday payment this month. So long you have money there. So that's a flexibility. You can change the time you want to pay. You can change a lot of things. It's very flexible. You understand? It's not like term where you have to just pay. There's no cash. So if you don't pay that money, your policy lapse. And then the thing about term, the disadvantage about term, after you sign for, which I will show you too, after you sign for the net for 10 years, after that 10 years, it increase. This is the reason why a lot of people lose their courage. A lot of people lose it. Yeah. And we have something we call the wheel of no insurance. That's the part we don't want to be in. Where you see a lot of people, they don't have grave. Why you think they don't have grave? Because they have to cremate them. I'm not saying, I know many people like to be cremated, I know that, but a lot of people who don't have money, the government take care of the body. They don't have grave. Because you don't have money to bury the body. It's very expensive. So this is the reason why we keep going out to encourage our people. I did not come here to sell insurance or anything to anybody, but to just give that education so that when we get out there, people will start to, you'll be able to, when you see somebody, you'll be able to tell them, oh yeah, this is something we can try to do it. Because I know the church, they let me just quote one scripture. I think someone quoted before. They talk about one scripture here, talk about is Proverbs 13:22. They say a good man leave behind inheritance to his children and his children. I went to some places. A lot of men told me, hell no, I can't leave anything behind. Why were the children already here? They grown. Why would I leave money behind? That is so selfish. Huh? 5 more minutes. Yeah. So that is so selfish. And then the last one talk about Ecclesiastes where it says you should diversify. So now let me just go. Let me. Can you put the illustration? Yeah, illustration for the term life. I don't know. I did the other one, but put the term first. Yeah, the term, the illustration. I don't know. Is it close? No. Okay, put the video on first. Yeah, play the video first. The video is short. Play the video. If the time cut out, I can't show anything. All of you, I will just send messages to your phone. From that phone number, you put it down, and then you will get the whole concept. But I stay home. I don't really work in a day. So if any of you two want to get any information, you can just contact me, and then I can give that. So let us just talk a little bit of why it's good to have IUL, that is inter-universal life, than term life. If right after this, I think my time will be. You got it, phone? No, it is one from our website straight, so it's okay. Yeah, it's safe.
Do you know how long is it?
Hmm?
Do you know how long is the video?
Yeah, it's a video.
Do you know how long?
It's 7 minutes. 7 minutes, but you can just carry in front if you want. So no sound there. There's no sound.
Let's start at that. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay. All right, Jess, I will explain what he's saying there. It's not. It's not playing. Okay. Okay. Maybe now just play it out. Just play. But basically, what he's saying over there is he's just trying to tell you why, if a 30-year-old person take a life insurance.
Clients are very comfortable with term insurance. They hear radio advertisements. They've heard this idea in financial literature. A lot of financial literature, consumer books that you'll see out there. Good morning, FFS. Andy Cowan, Director of Sales here, coming to you from the home office. I'm really excited to share an idea with you. I call it the life insurance timeline, and what this is going to be really helpful for is meeting those clients or those prospects where all they want to talk about is buying term and investing the difference. If this is something you haven't confronted yet in the field, you soon will. Buying term and investing the difference is an idea that basically is as old as term insurance itself. And let's face it, a lot of clients are very comfortable with term insurance. They hear radio advertisements. They've heard this idea in financial literature, a lot of financial literature, consumer books that you'll see out there. They talk a lot about this idea of buying term and investing the difference. So you sit down with a client, you're meeting with them, and you think they would really benefit from an index universal life policy or a whole life policy or GUL, but all they want to do is talk about term insurance, or specifically buying term and investing the difference. I want to give you a quick idea on how you can combat that strategy, maybe overcome that idea with that client. So what we're going to do, a little case study. We're going to assume we have a 30-year-old male, okay? And we're going to assume this 30-year-old, he's married, he has kids, the mortgage, the traditional household that you might run into out in the field. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at what happens, or what could potentially happen to this gentleman, this 30-year-old male, all the way until age 100. Okay, now obviously there's a lot of different life events that can occur for someone who's just 30 years old until they finally pass away at age 100 or before then. But we'll look at some potential ideas here. And since this 30-year-old male, he wants to buy term and invest the difference, what he's going to do is buy a 20-year term policy. Okay, and so if he buys a 20-year term policy, how far out in the future will that cover him? Well, of course, it'll take him to age 50, right? So everything on this side of the timeline, he's protected, right? Let's just assume it's $1 million, 20-year term policy, whatever the case may be. This side of the timeline, he's protected. This side of the timeline, of course, his term is expired, he's unprotected, right? And let's assume, for argument's sake, let's assume he plans on retiring at 65. When you're doing this with a client, if they say they're going to retire at 67, 70, 62, doesn't really matter. Just pick a retirement age. So you have your 65-year-old, or excuse me, your retirement age planned for 65. And right now, a 30-year-old male, this individual's life expectancy is about age 80. If it's a female that you're working with, it'll be a little bit longer. But right now, a 30-year-old, their life expectancy is about 80. You just have to be close. It doesn't have to be exact. You just have to be close. Now, a lot of people would argue that this individual, remember, this 30-year-old male, a lot of people would argue that this 30-year-old, his need for life insurance, the amount of protection that this gentleman needs, would look something like this. Okay? As you get older, you start paying down debts, you're making more money, you have more in retirement assets, that you just don't need as much protection anymore. But let's take a look here. Okay, remember, 30 years old, has term coverage until age 50. Let's talk about age 59. And if I was doing this meeting live, I would always pause here and ask the audience, what do you think age 59 represents? And most of the time what I hear is IRA distributions at 59 and a half without a penalty. You could move your 401k maybe, whatever the case may be. You hear a couple other responses, but what age 59 represents, this is actually the average age of a widow in the United States. This is something that opens some eyes. Share that with your clients, especially these clients where you're talking, they're 30 years old and all they want to do is buy a 20-year term policy. Share with them, did you know the average age of a widow is at age 59? When you think of a widow, what do you think of? You kind of think of a grandmotherly figure, right? They have grandkids, gray hair, the whole thing. They don't think about a younger person whose husband just died. And so the first thing you got to think about, if this 30-year-old, if he happens to be married, and he dies at age 59, and he has leaves behind a widow, what protection does she have? What's her death benefit? Well, obviously, it's zero, right? His policy ran out 9 years ago. The other thing to think about here, folks, from age 50 to 65, what about income? There's still income replacement needs here. And the reason I say this, from age 50 to 65, these are high income earning years. You know, think about it. If you're sitting down with let's say a public school teacher, for example, in whatever state you happen to be in, is that school teacher, are they making the most amount of money when they're 30? Or are they making the most amount of money when they're 55? It's just how the pay scales work, right? Let's say you're sitting down with an engineer. Are they making more money when they're 30 or when they're 55? They can command higher wages when they're 55 because of experience. If they're a business owner, right, they have all this, they've spent all this time building up this business. Is their business generating more revenue when they're in their 50s and 60s or when they're 30s? Probably when they're in their 50s or 60s. This income replacement is so vital, it's so important because these are high income earning years. What else? Well, of course, we talk about it all the time. What about chronic illness, terminal illness, critical illness, critical injury, whatever the case may be? Is this gentleman more likely to get sick after age 50 or before age 50? Is he more likely to need to go to a nursing home after age 50 or before age 50? Clearly, he needs the chronic illness protection. He needs the living benefits after age 50. If his term plan expires at age 50 and he's not able to get life insurance coverage thereafter because maybe his health has changed or whatever the case may be, he's not going to have any sort of living benefit protection. And then finally, let's talk about age 100. Obviously, his life expectancy is age 80, again, 30-year-old male. But did you know that 80% of centenarians, people who live to age 100, 80% are female. And so if this gentleman's married, his wife has a 4 in 5 chance of reaching age 100. That's 20 years. 20 years after he's gone. That his spouse may need extra protection to be able to maintain a retirement lifestyle, to be able to pay bills, whatever the case may be. It is paramount that he be able to offer some sort of protection, this 30-year-old, to his spouse, because she does have a real chance of living until age 100. Folks, this is a nice, simple story you can share. It's easy. You do need to practice it a couple times, have your numbers down, but this is a story you can share to keep the conversation going when you think your client could benefit from permanent life insurance. Walk them through this timeline. Share with them that the average age of a widow is age 59. I think you'll open some eyes. I hope you have success with it. Let me know some success stories, and I'll see you at the top.
We can't go further to show any other illustration. So what I'm going to do is the part that I pass around. Yeah, the writing part. I want everyone to put their number so that I can send some information to everyone. Yeah, get some videos and things. But I think we saw what the guy said is very important. We need to do something to protect ourselves because we as men we don't live longer yet. So we need to leave something behind for our children. Thank you.
So, Brother Connie, thank you so much, but that whole job of men not living too long, don't be mentioning it too much over here. Go ahead, boy, Pastor Smoker. I'm in fear of it. I shall not die. I shall not die. I love that prayer. If I leave from here with nothing but that particular prayer, I've been praying. All right, so it gives me the pleasure to bring on our brother Derek Kofa to talk to us about retirement.
No, man of God, I want to say amen to that prayer. Yeah. My brother, how do you work this stuff? On a serious note, thank you, brother Kai, for that. You know, we're laughing about it, but it's a serious thing. It's serious, and that is something that we don't like to talk about. But again, that scripture, that Proverbs 13, 12 or 22, that says that we should leave inheritance, not just to our children, but to our children's children. It is relevant, it's scriptural. So let us not say, oh, you know what? They say that only women can enjoy this benefit, so I'm not. But that's our responsibility as men, right? Pastor Smogel eloquently preached to us that we are to take charge in crisis, right? Okay. What's my slides? Oh, they're working there? Okay, so your phone, though, I don't see it. Men, I got 15 minutes or 20 minutes for us to really have serious conversation. Amen? We're going to have serious conversation. Some of us, we are knocking at the door of retirement. Others, they still have a couple of 15 or 20 years to get there. And I want to say thanks to the organizer of this men conference. In my research and everything that I was going through, matter of God, it was an eye-opener for me, especially in this society when we're talking about retirement. When I'm referring to retirement, we have to put it in perspective. Retirement, basically, we as human beings, God, there are two assignments that we have. We got a job, and then we got work. There's a difference. We have jobs and we have work. Our jobs are the places that we go in the morning to work for other people. That's our job. Our work is what God has ordained us, even before the foundation, when He said that before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. That's our work. So when we go to work, when we go to job, after that, when we come back, then our work starts. So one of my brothers was here, but he left. He and I were having a conversation. He's now retired from his job. And we're going to retire from our job. But that doesn't mean that because I retired from my job, so that means I don't have any relevance. Because if we didn't have relevance, then the old man will call us home. Right? The old man will say, well, if you think that, that's the reason why, look at the statistics. Most of the time when people retire from work, if they don't have something to look forward to, most of the time they don't live long. They don't live long at all. So we have to look at things, we are all spiritual people, right? That's why I try to remind us that when we retire, we are only retiring from our regular job, but we have work to do. So what I'm talking about today is speaking specifically on our regular job, when we leave our regular job, because right now, that's where our daily bread comes from. So as you can see over there, whether we like it or not, there are times that we worked, and that there are times that we will retire from that work, from that job. Whether we like it or not, the office will tell us, hey, Brother Kofa, you've been here for all this length of time. Thank you for your length of service. Our policy says that when you reach at age 65, you have to retire, right? And you have to go. Or we got some kind of young college kids that are just coming up that we can pay half what we're paying you, so you got to go. And you got to go. Bro, let's go to the third slide. Yeah. Okay. The third slide. So one of the things that there's a saying that says that we when you fail to plan, you're planning to what? To fail. And so most of the time we are working, and I'm included, when every one of us are working, we are energized. We say, hey, I've got to go to work every day. I got to go to work every day. You put in bread on the table, the family is happy. And then in the process, because we are so caught up, we just think that it's going to be like that forever. And before you wipe your eyes, age start catching up to you. And as you can see there, early retirement is between the age of 62 through 65. So by the time you start reaching to your 50s, you're almost there. Full retirement in this country now is either between 66 and 70 years. Retirement, and then what is happening now, I will just go through quick because of time. What is happening now, people are living longer. People are living longer than before, even though the statistics were saying that, but people are living longer. And so, and the reason why people are living longer, the reason why people are living longer is because health care is improving. Okay, those days when they came up with that statistics of people retiring at 65, most of the time they say people used to die by the time you get to 70 or 78. You know, sometimes even lower than that. So because of that, when people were planning for retirement, they were just planning for retirement for maybe like 5 or 6 years, or 10 years at most. And then you die. You know, so that's what it is. And look what it's saying there. They are saying that a 65-year-old has a 70% chance of needing long-term care. When we retire, we need long-term care. And the statistics is saying that if I let's go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay. So when we're going to retire, whether we like it or not. And there are some basic questions that we have to sit down with our wives and ourselves and say, I'm planning on retiring. Or the office might ask me to retire next year or a few years from now. These are questions that you need to really sit down and say, okay, when I retire, these are questions I need to ask myself. When I retire, what am I planning on doing with my second half and more valuable time of my life, when I'm not going to be answering to somebody at my place of work? What is your grand plan? Are you planning on being a pastor smoker? When you retire, you want to, be flying around with your wife, going to Australia, and, the church, by that time that the church has grown and everything, or you want to be traveling, you want to ride a boat, you want to go golfing, you got to start asking the question, sweetheart, when we retire, what are we going to be doing? You understand me? That's one. And then the thing is, when you build all the castles in the air, I want to do this, I want to do that. Then the next thing you ask yourself, how am I going to finance that? Please, I want, if we're not going to gather anything from here, I want for us, because that's why this one is about awareness. This is reality. Whether we like it or not, we are getting there. We are getting there. Where do I want to retire? You know something? Where do I want to retire? Do I want to retire in this country? Do I want to retire in Liberia? Do I want to retire in other islands? If so, start having those conversations. Because start having a conversation. If I want to retire in Liberia, then I got to do two things. I got to have a place that when I go, I can lay my head. I am not going to go to my uncle's house or my brother's house and say, find me a room. What does that mean? It means I got to build a house. And when you build a house in Liberia, you got to build a house in a way that you got to have cash flow. So you're not going to build a dream house, and your cash flow, the money that's supposed to be keeping you up, is not there. Because remember, before you went there, the people that were there, they used to look up to you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the time somebody will come to you and tell you, say you spent what, 25 years in America, and then you come here and you won't get a hard time. I never beg you to send me money. You know what I'm saying? One of my friends told me that when you get to a stage in Liberia, and the boy will used to help you to draw your water, and then he comes to you and says, Papa, you see behind a cotton tree? That's what the well is. You know, you have a drop bucket. That mean from the money that you're giving them is slow, now they finish with you. So my people, this is serious. You know what I'm saying? It is serious. So ask yourself, am I going to retire in this country? If so, then you got to make sure you have something to call annuity. You got to make sure you have good investment that will give you constant flow of cash every month. The statistics says, from financial advisor, if you want to live the same lifestyle you are living right now, that you're so used to, they say when you retire, that income that's making you to live that same lifestyle, you got to earn at least 85% of that. So that is, if I'm my wife and myself, we are bringing in $100,000 every year. You know what I mean? When I'm working. They said to live that same lifestyle in America, you got to bring it, your income has to be what? $85,000. And you tell me, when you retire from the people that were paying you a paycheck, where are you going to get $85,000 from every month just by staying home? You know what I'm saying? That's the reason now you have to plan. I need 85% of my current income to be able to sustain the same lifestyle that I'm having right now. If not, if I'm not going to get $85,000, my wife and myself, then we guys have to start having that conversation. Sweetheart, are we going to retire in Minnesota? Or are we going to Liberia? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's go to the next slide. So as I was talking about, you see the life expectancy? The most recent one, they say 50% of us, if you're a non-smoker, 50% of us will live up to the age of what? 88. If you're a man now. Women, 50%, 90. How do you call it? 50% will live up to what? 90 years for women. So the women thing is real. 40% of us, only 40% of us non-smoker will reach to 90 years for men, and women are 92. And you can see the statistics. Only 10% of us, well, Pastor, you've been praying for us, right? So we'll live until we go back. But I'm just saying, that's why men say, and based on the statistics. Are we following? Yeah. Only 10% will live up to 100 years, 98 years, whatever the case. But what they are saying is that, I said it before, they say we are living a little longer. You retire at 65 and you might live up to 90 years. So through the grace of God, we never know which one of these categories we might fall in. The Bible says what? Life and death is in the what? The power of the tongue. So if you profess that I'm going to live long, you will live long. But we want to live long in good health and in prosperity, right? Okay, let's go again, my brother. We'll make it fast. Okay. Go back to the last slide. Okay.
So the percentage for non-smokers is 95. How about smokers?
No, smokers are there. Like the age right there. Okay. They are talking about the percentage of people that will be around. You understand me? So they got non-smoker and smoker that the man they call Mark, and the women they call Catherine. So what is it? They don't want to put Kofa name there or somebody name or something like that. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so you see, according to the financial advisor and the statistics and wherever they did it based on this society. If you decide to live in America for your retirement, see the age there? That rule of thumb. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Look at that kind of money. At the age of 30, they are saying that you just don't have $50,000 in your account, in your retirement account. You should be fine because you got other years ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? But as you start going to a higher year, look at 67. At the age of 67, if your monthly or your yearly 50,000, and that's the lifestyle you used to, the $50,000 lifestyle. They say for you to live comfortably, you must have $500,000 in your retirement account. That's $500,000. Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. You got a lot of medical issues and a lot of bills. Are we following? That's $500,000. Some of us we get in our age that group, and when you look in your retirement account, and not only retirement, you look at this stuff. You say, what? By the time you finish dishing out money to all the uncle dads and everybody, you thinking, say, how am I going to manage? Okay, let's go. Let's go to the next slide. Let's make it fast so we can get a question and answer period. So it is serious. And when you retire, there are three main sources of income you're going to get. 3. No, let's go back. Yeah, go back. 3 main sources of income you're going to get. And I will spend a lot of time on one particular one. You have 3 main sources of income that you're going to get when you retire. Social Security. If you're working for a company that can pay out pension. How many people are working for a company that can pay out pension? Praise God for you. And then the other one is your retirement savings. And that those of us that got 401k, 403, and those are that saving money in whether in raw IRA, all the different stuff and things. So those are the only 3 sources of income you're going to have. The paycheck from your job is gone. If by God, we were talking about investment. If God blesses you and you have business going, if you're running your own business, that's another good source of income. But if you don't have anything you establish for yourself, any business, those are the 3 places you're going to get money from. Are we following? Okay, let's go. So, yeah, next slide. So now I'm going to spend a lot of time on Social Security and 401k. Because the statistics shows that they said 40% of our income after retirement comes from Social Security. But for the African American, the black, for us, they said about 60 to 75% of our income is from Social Security. Because by the time we get to retirement, we broke. We are practically broke. So, and we'll see the number. How much they will give you for Social Security? When you look at that, by the time you pay your mortgage, it's over. Okay? So Social Security, if you are sitting down here and you're working and you're not paying into Social Security, no, in fact, the government will make you pay. You understand me? You will pay. So basically, Social Security, the way it works is simple. Government will take the money from your paycheck or whatever the case. And every year, you get full credit. That's how they calculate it. That means every 3 months, you get 1 credit. In order for you to get 1 credit, you got to make at least $1,730. If your paycheck is 1,700, that is a credit. Okay? So every 3 months, if you can make $1,730, you get 1 credit. So by the end of the year, if you're making $6,000, you get your full credit. Full credit in a year, right? And to qualify for Social Security benefit, you need 40 credits. So that means 10 years. Once you work 10 years, that's the minimum you qualify for Social Security. Then you qualify. So if anybody who works here for over 10 years, you qualify for Social Security. That's the minimum. And the way Social Security, the way they calculate that, they look at your last 35 years of your highest income, right? That's what they'll look at. And then they will determine something they call your PIA, personal some kind of thing. But that's what they're going to be paying you. But if you look, let's go to the next slide. But if you look at so that's what it is. So you got to pay in the Social Security, then your children, your survive. Yep. Yeah. But are you still working? Okay, ask a question. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You got to get that 40 credit. You got to get that 40 credit. Man, you're going for you.
If there's a break for either 10 years, let's say you work 5 years, and you're going to say you're going to work for a year or so. So what do? Will you start for one or?
As I said, over 35 years of looking. And aggregate within that time, they will still be, because when you start working again, you start paying into the stuff. And then you start getting your credit. All right. Kenneth? Okay. No, let me go to the question in serious time. Then we'll answer. Yeah, George, now your questions. Okay. So, I call it, and that we also learn that there are some states where, I got to hurry up, there are some states where they will tax you, Social Security benefit. But we'll come to those states and stuff. There are some states. Let's go to the next one, brother. No problem. Okay. Okay. So, okay. You can collect, here's the thing, you can collect Social Security benefit as early as at the age of 62. Right? But that one is called early retirement. But I would not advise any of us to do it, except if you have disability or something actually wrong and stuff. Because when you do that, you lose a lot of money. You understand me? Because they feel that you would start getting benefit at a very early age, early time, instead of the full retirement. The full retirement is 67. 67, and then but then here's the thing though, if you start getting early if you go at the age of 62 and start getting Social Security benefit, first and foremost you get penalized because they will cut it down. That's one. Two, when you start earning Social Security benefit, there's a cap. That's how much you can make when you're working. And how much is that? 22,000. The number is 22,000. Can you imagine? 22,000 now for a whole year. That is the max you can work for. If you work anything more than that, let's say you work additional 5,000 above that 22,000. That 5,000, every $2 that you earn in that excess, government taking out $1. So if you make additional 5,000 above the 22,000. That 5,000, government taking 2,005, and you taking 2,005. And you did the work. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's go. Yep. So, that's what it is. And now look, In February 2024, the average Social Security retirement benefit was $1,862 per month. And then, how they call it, in May 24, the average monthly Social Security went up to $1,009. So you and your wife, if you're like the American people who they can marry their wife, they're other than the same age, and both of them retire at the same time. Some of us from Africa, so our wives are younger than us. So when we retire, they will still be working. But just imagine both of you people when you work right now. Your wife bringing in maybe like what, 10,000, or maybe your husband bringing in 5,000, or your wife bringing in, both of them, when you put your income together, you're getting what? Maybe you're getting what, like maybe like 10,000. You talk to me now, you're making plenty of money. 15,000. You know what I mean? Every month you're getting 15,000. Then you retire. You're not getting that 15,000, and the Social Security telling you yesterday, when they get you what? $3,834. That's your only income you're getting from Social Security. And look at what they said. They said the maximum amount the Social Security have paid out in the 2024, the maximum benefit at 4,000 what? 500, and they said a small percentage of people qualify to reach that 4,000 mark. You know what I'm saying? Those are people that are making huge sum of money and stuff like that. But those are people that are teetering around 100,000 and 75,000. $3,834, you and your wife. So when you're living in a house, the mortgage is doing what? $2,500. And then you living on, they gave you $3,824. You didn't even talk about car. And then at that level, make sure that you don't even owe any debt. No credit card, no card note. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying all this to tell us that let us not kick the can down the road. Let's sit down right now, start having some serious conversation about when I retire, how am I going to sustain my family and myself? Because that income will not be there. The income that you're earning at a job right now will not be there. So what you have in your account now, the investment that you're making, that you will make, those are the places that will bring you income. And they're saying, I told you, about 60% of black people, they say our only source of income is Social Security. And look at the number that they're going to give you. You understand what I'm saying? Let's go. So let's go, brother. So I'm just telling you. So one of the decisions you're going to make is, when I start getting my Social Security benefit, should I live in Minnesota? You see the 11 states? These are the 11 states at this point. The tax Social Security, and Minnesota is right there. Colorado, Connecticut, Kansas, Minnesota. These states, when you live there, when you live here, the little small, the 3,800 that they're giving you, they're taking their own from there. You understand what I'm saying? And then somebody will say, but Brother Kofi, but I also got 401k. You know, I also got 401k as my part of, as I put that money aside. And the 401k, you know that pre-tax money, right? So the government never took the taxes from there. And you can start taking money from there at the age of 59 and a half years, right? But what I've read is this. The only time they will not tax you, they will not penalize you is when you reach the age of 59 and a half years, right? But even at that, the 401k, your own money, they got something they call RMD, Require Minimum Distribution. The IRS, every year, they come up with something they call the expectancy multiplier. They will decide when you will live. They put a number to it. The person will live maybe 26 years, 27 years, all those kind of things. So IRS will come up with that one. So whatever amount is your balance in your 401k. If they're 100,000, then you take that IRS rate. If they're 26, you divide that by 26. And that's the total you're going to get. That's what you're going to withdraw. You are allowed to withdraw from your 401k yearly. And guess what? They gave an example. Somebody who has about $100,000 in their account. They divide by that thing. I think the person was getting about like $3,800 and something for a whole year. I'm like, what? Can you imagine your own 401k? And that's the only amount, 3,000 plus, for somebody who got 100,000. That's the amount that you can withdraw. And that amount is just for a whole year. They're not stopping you. You have the right to go there and say, I want all my money. The only thing that is, you will get burned. Uncle said you and them will split it. The first thing, that they will take out their taxes that they never took out all that time. They're taking it from there. And then on top of that, they will penalize you for taking your money earlier. So when you get 100,000, maybe when you leave from there, maybe you pay almost pretty close about 40%. You'll be working with 60,000. So that choice is yours. To leave it at that, you either get $3,800 for the whole year or decide to something. Am I making sense? So we have to sit down now and start having conversation. And one of the good things, let go, brother, let go. One of the good things that for some of us, one of the places that you have something to look up to for some of us that got homes. You understand what I'm saying? For some of us that got homes. When that time comes, you and your wife got to sit there and say, sweetheart, all the children are all big now. Do we need a big house? You know what I mean? Because most of us, our asset is tied into our homes, right? You got your equity in there, you got everything. So that's the time you can say, you know what I mean? I think there's about time now we can downgrade. We can sell it. That's a good asset. Can you imagine walking away with $300,000 or $400,000? That's good sum of money. So why am I saying this? Home investment is a good investment. Yeah? You pay taxes on one, but you walk away with something, brother. You know what I mean? So that's one of the places that you got a plus. And then when you get a lump sum of money or whatever the case, you pay the people taxes, then you can decide, you know what I mean? Maybe we got another 20 years ago, or whatever the case, or you can start baking bread or some kind of thing. Then now it's time to go have a new baby now. And so you can have a baby by that time, right? Yeah, grandchildren all big now. But what I'm saying is, those are the kind of conversation now, especially for some of us that are in the 50s, are going to the 60s, or some of us that are even younger than that. If you start putting some money aside, start investing, even at 5% or 10%, and most of the time, these young people now, they're so blessed. My son, every time I call him, I say, man, Papa spent all the money on the school fee and all that kind of stuff, and you're on your own now. Where you saying? He said, Papa, he said, well, that was your responsibility. I didn't ask to be here. So let's understand those of us that are born in this country. Their mindset is different. Their mindset is different. They will tell you, someone will lower your face, but that's your responsibility. One mentor, his father, he said, it's your responsibility, Dad, to take care of me. And that's my responsibility to take care of my children. It should have been a responsibility of your dad to take care of you. And you and I know some of us, we are the first generation, right? Nobody took care of us. So let's have in our mindset, God first. If God touched the heart of our children, that they can look back on us tomorrow and remember us is a plus. You understand what I'm saying? But let us not take that and put it in the bank. And just assume that, because you never know who they're going to get married to. Suppose they get married to one of the Igbo people there, the white people there and stuff like that. Yeah. And then every day you call him, I call him my daughter, Michelle, when you send me Sunday, then they met with my daughter, but when your father was working, he never took insurance. You never had insurance money. You never knew they were going to retire today. So we love our children, but let us be mindful. Because when we retire, we want to maintain our respect. We want to maintain our dignity. You don't want to be calling your little son just for a cup of coffee and then his wife telling you some kind of thing or some kind of thing. So let's start having those serious conversations. It's not one of those things that we say, I will bury my head under the sand. Amen? And my last piece is, when you get to 65, at age 65, don't forget to sign up for Medicare. Okay? If you don't sign up for Medicare, Medicare is a government-sponsored insurance. If you don't sign up for Medicare, the day you decide to sign up for it, it'll become expensive. So the day you reach 65, start applying to sign up for Medicare. If you're still working in your company, if you still got the company health insurance, that's fine, but it's good to sign up for it. Okay? All right, let's go to the last one. No, let's go. What is the next one? Okay, so I just the same tip, calculate. So right now, what you do, these are just tip. So, and I'm speaking to myself. I speak to your wife. Just sit down and start having some conversations. Sister, we are reaching to a stage where, what I got 15 years to work in the job market. If I'm working for somebody else, I got 10 years to work for somebody. The conversation you need to have is say, in about 10 years, one of us, if we are not at the same age, one of us will be losing almost 100% of that income that is coming in right now. And if $100,000 I'm bringing in, I'm only going to be getting $1,900 from Social Security. So in the meantime, what is it that we can do now to start adding up our egg nest for retirement? Okay, man? Are we there? Yeah. So I just brought this up for us, including myself, so we can face reality and plan better. Amen. Yep. Yeah, boss man.
All right, so I think this is the Q&A session, and I would remember you don't want to follow the program. Oh, would you go ahead? Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Okay, I wish I had longer time to explain something. I can see a lot of people here, their faces, I see it almost like Brother Kufa just preached a doomsday message to us. But one thing there are a lot of strategy in the market, financial strategy that can help you with this, to subsidize your retirement. With all the accounts he talked about, they are all called qualified account because the government has something in it. But there are another account called unqualified account. That is your life insurance. You can use your life insurance for retirement. That is you max fund it, and then by the time you reach 65, it starts free, or whatever age. It doesn't matter. You don't have to reach 65, but once you max fund it, you can retire at any time. Depend on how much money you put there. By the time you retire, that death benefit that you have there, it can be accumulated to your or diverted to your money every year. You can get additional money that you can add up to your retirement from the government that will make you live the better life, because you don't want to live here and then you retire, you drop your standard of living, then you may not live long. So you also check on life insurance.
So that life insurance you're talking about is not term life insurance.
No,
that's
it's
a different kind of life.
Universal life that we're talking about today.
So yeah, what the brother said. So if you have that particular policy, what he's talking about, then you can use the money that's supposed to go toward your death benefit. You can start using some of it. But that is if you only have that particular one. If you have term life insurance and other one, it's not applicable. Okay. All right. Other question. Hey, my people. Sorry. Before I go, so he made a point. I am not saying this that to him. To what he said at doomsday. This is not doomsday, but just this is an eye opener for us. so that we can face the reality and start having a conversation. Okay? That and some of us, like I was saying from the beginning, I was joking. One of my friends said, "Kofa, you know, right? I don't care. If I die, the people will collect money. If that your mindset that when you go for business, anything happen, they will collect money, but then what happened to your children?" Okay? All right. Let's go.
Yeah, so thank you, CFO.
Yep.
It was. So it's very good. And I just want to comment on what Pastor Mel, Smoker just went out there, and the question he talked about, 10 years. And so I've been in Minnesota for 25 years now. And I haven't remember 1 month that I've been out of job. Maybe. So I got my 40 credit 15 years ago. Yeah. And so, okay, so Social Security a few years ago sent out letters, like a monthly statement every year, but they don't do it this time because now it's online. So I'm just trying to go online, just plug it in, and you can access what. Yeah, register online, you can be able to access, your benefit. If you already accumulated that 40 hours, 40 credit is there, and it tells you how much you get, and early retirement, 62, full retirement, and then delayed retirement. So if I go in, the chart is there, and it tells me how much I will be getting. So, oh yeah, it's really cool. I mean, the chart, the graph is all there. It tells you how much you will get. So that's one thing. Another thing is, I'm not a stock guy, right? Like buying stock and stuff. So I invest 401k of my company. And so I'm just encouraging you guys, if you're not doing 401k, you're letting free money go in.
That free money, yeah.
Yeah. And so if your wife is not doing it, if she's got a job and doesn't have 401k there, you guys can just arrange that you put in more, and then she, covers it, whatever, because then she's not putting from her job, you can increase up your contribution.
Yeah.
If the people you don't have it, you can say do it. You can go to Fidelity and do money from a bank. Yeah, you can do that too. So that's just one thing I want to encourage you. And a lot of money on the table, bro. If I tell you, my 401k, I don't know how many times I borrow it, right? Go take out 25,000 to this one, and I use it and I pay it back. I pay myself back. And so, you pay by, even with interest, you pay yourself. That's your money. It's there. So just lawyers.
I don't know what lawyers.
I think.
Okay, you got a question? Yeah. Okay. You ready? You got a question?
So, thank you, CFO. I wanted to know. I have. I think I have 2 retirement accounts with Kanye, and one of them, my brother, chairman, work for the Kanye. We both work for the same Kanye. So, what I do know is that they kind of put the money aside for those that are working the Kanye. That is a guarantee money for you when you retire. I think when you, 5 or 6 years, kind of you can take that money from there with no penalty and go with it. But I also have another account. I think it's 43B that I put in extra money in there, for my paycheck. I don't even worry about it. It goes right into that's something that I have. And then there's another benefit that we have at the Conde. It's called Minnesota, I think, not the Peril one. There's another one. Okay, anyway, I'll leave that. But I have that. So my 401k with the Conde is pre-tax, meaning that, they go ahead and take out their taxes. When I reach the age of taking my money, I would take it back without penalty. So, yeah, I think it's called Rough IRA or something like that. So that's what I have. That is less stress when you reach the age to retire. You get your money, or do you still get penalized for that?
I gotta do a research on that. Not. But what I don't think do it. I think once it go ahead.
The Gulf IRA is after tax.
After tax. You don't get it.
After tax. Before tax.
That's where. But then the thing is this. The 401, the 403, most of the time, those are company managed saving retirements. So the company normally come up with their own policy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's possible that there might be some restrictions on how much you can take out based on the company restriction, but I don't have all the details. Okay.
From my own experience, the first company I was with, were doing a 403B because they were for non-profit.
Non-profit, okay.
Yeah, now the new group that bought the place, they are for profit.
Yep.
So for me, while we were there, I took some money out. So I was about to finish paying it when they came up. So like what we were talking about, they asked me that when we're moving to 401k, what I want to roll over. What I owe, if I want to roll over, it won't be taxed again. It will just be there.
Okay.
If I don't roll over, it comes in like my own income that I use it. And
Yep.
I will pay
Taxes or distribution.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but 401k, what I understand, if you want to borrow from it, it's taxable. It's not like a 403b. When you take, and it just the interest come back to you as you pay.
Yep. Okay. Any question? Yeah.
Yeah, what I want to say, just to address what the pastor asked concerning, like, if you don't work for certain time, what will happen? My dad going through that same thing right now. He's in that way. He came to this country 84. He never worked. I think he been working, but for certain years that he did not work. His retirement now that he's getting, they had to call it. They stop it because for that period of years that he did not work.
Okay.
Right now, he trying to fight them now to see if he can get it, but they saying because of that, he going through that struggle to get a full retirement. So they had to reduce it. They gave him some for certain time, and that other time that he did not work, they cut it from there.
All right. So my last point is this. Then things. I mean, it was interactive again. This is not a doomsday. Oh, you want to ask a question? Okay.
I wanted to add something.
Okay. Let brother.
Yes, I don't know whether I will get good answer for this. My question is, in case you didn't reach the retirement age, did you do any research? If anyone, maybe for common example, if I want to retire at the age of 50, maybe or get into business directly or do something different, is there a way I can be able to continue maybe to pay or to get retirement benefit from the government, or will I have to wait until I be age 60, 65 before I can start to get retirement benefit, or would there be a penalty for me if I force it to retire maybe at age 50 or age 55 or something around there?
But normally, these things are governed by law, right? So you're talking about if you want to retire before 62, I don't know whether they can allow him to do that. You can. You just have to wait because they will not something. You
If you have the option to retire
anytime they want.
there's no payment.
Until you reach 62. You understand me? Yeah.
Okay.
So you can decide that tomorrow I don't want to work. That's fine. But you will not just get retired.
I want to add something.
Okay.
I want to add something.
Okay. Can you wait, bro? Can you ask a question?
No, I think my own is actually a comment. I think from what Brother Kova talked about from the beginning, he talked about a couple of things about investing in Africa. If you got a mindset of going back, not to build a dream house, see how you can invest. Because the truth of the matter here is, this is a system here, it works for people. I mean, for you to come from Africa to beat the system, to go, sometimes we got a lot of strange attacks, people from back home calling you for money. So from what I gathered from all what we discussed there, it's all about, if I would prepare, I think I'm considering like, how I can invest, maybe if I would do real estate in back home. Taking from the concept, he talked about the 3,000, for example, from Social Security. If I get 3,000 like, bro, yeah, get my apartment complex. I tell you, again, because my kids, they're not going to go back to Liberia. They're going to stay here. So I also considering that. Lastly, I mean,
All right, go ahead, Brandy.
All right. Well, two things. First, thank you for the presentation and all the valuable information. Second thing I'd like to add, we made mention of it, but I just want to underscore it. So as far as the housing thing is concerned, owning a house, well, someone talked about your profit and tax. So within the United States, if you own a house as your residence and you're ready to sell that house,
you're paying attention?
And you're ready to sell that house, the profit of that sale, non-taxable, up to $250,000. I don't know if it might have gone up now or down, but as long as you live in a house as your primary residence for I think 3 years. So some people use it as a strategy. They live in a house for three years or something like that. They sell it. You're guaranteed at least 200, 250, and then the couple you can look up is tax-free. So that profit is just free money. And then they buy another property, live there for another few years, sell it, and move on. So, you know, I just wanted to throw that out there to bring it to your
Great
hearing.
information. Okay. Last statement. Guys, we are children of God. Amen? We are children of God. We are children of faith. But we cannot walk in ignorance. You understand me? There are some people who made a break even when they were in the 70s. Joyce Meyer never wrote her first book until she was 60-something. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, there are a lot of gifts in us that have never even been birthed. That's what I said, that what I'm talking about job, not your work. When you cross the age of 70, you can earn any amount of money you get. The government ain't going to take a dime from you. All we got to pray to God for is the grace of God, long life, and good health. So let us not walk out of here like that we're feeling that that's the end of it. Brother Kofa just gave us a doom this. I'm just giving you the reality of doing a job and your income. Okay? May God bless every one of us.
And since we still have about 4 more minutes on their presentation, and something that Brother Kai Colley. Yeah.
I would like for us to get at least a hard copy of these beautiful presentations so some of all can make reference on it, in the future.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, we will definitely post it. Okay. That'll be one thing we'll do. We'll post it in the WhatsApp. So everyone will be able to go into the WhatsApp, in our KingsMen WhatsApp, and be able to get it for there. Yeah. Yeah, to get it there. Yep, yeah. And please, we'll always put information in there. We encourage our people to always put information in there. when we start, and when CFO and the rest of the team, when we start that ETF or investment something, we'll put it in there that we are doing this, so KingsMen can know that these opportunities are still available and we're working on it. Yeah, well, yeah, everything will be posted right in there. Yeah, they'll keep it going. No, okay, what happens is that the information put in is always at the first when you open it. The new one always in the front. New one always in the front.
So who could do something though? No, the answer to that is yeah, you can clear it from your phone. Clear old messages and then get a new one.
Yeah, you're going to cancel, delay everything. Yeah, so the new one comes there and said. Oh, no, you only do that if you post the information. Yeah, only you post it.
I'm trying to figure out a way where maybe a platform that would be a lot easier for a lot of people to communicate. So wherein, when you post messages and things like that, it's highlighted on the top. So that way when you're looking for information or let's say all of these different documents that help the men and things like that, it could be prayer or it can be these educational stuff. It's in one folder. And when you go there, like people use Teams, right? So on Teams, if you work for a company, your company uses Teams. If you actually go in, you have your channels, your folders, and things like that. I think if we have a strategy around that, I'm trying to create it for our church. It will be a lot easier because members can just go. Because if you look at the different messages, it's hard to find things.
Yeah, but the difference what he's saying is that whatever you post the information is already at the very top when you open your Teams or those messages.
So then that's what we need to do. Whoever the administrator, create a folder, post all of these things in there, and it's a lot easier for everyone.
So now, why not work on that? And once you get it figure out, then you can help us with the information on WhatsApp. Yeah.
And then one thing too, encouraging all of you. There's something to the other church to Minneapolis. We call it Hot Topic every Thursday. It is called the pastors discuss different things, including people who do investment, people who talk about marital affairs and other things. So it's a good thing that we all can be coming. You don't have to be. At least we are one team. So you all are invited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every Thursday, 6 to 7. Yep. Thank you. And thank you. And one of the things I want to add here, in regards to Brother Kai Collins' presentation about insurance, is that this is something I know we don't like to talk about, but we sometimes need to talk about. They got a policy called KingsMen policy. What KingsMen policy means is that the most important people in your institution, they contribute a lot to the institution. Let me give myself an example. Since I am the regional head, I contribute, but the assumption is I contribute a lot to this region. And then, when I'm talking, so you're thinking about whether you are the pastor for the church or you are the deacon for the church, just look at it that way. Or even as a business, you are the head of the business. The KingsMen contributes a lot to the institution. So what insurance does is that you take a policy on me because I'm the regional head, I'm contributing a lot to this institution. You take a policy on me that because I do a whole lot to keep the region going, if something happens to me tomorrow, I have to pass away in order for the region to pick up and continue to go. It will cost a lot of money to do it. So that policy that I took on me will be used to be able to recruit and train someone different to be able to keep the policy going. I mean, the institution going. So we need to start coming with those things that even in our churches, most of the white churches that you see are built up, is not because people are paying tithe or kept like that. No. The pastor and the very high people there there were policy on all of them that the institution paying for. Death is a way of life. We will have to face it. So when any one of these people pass away, the money from there is being used to grow the church to keep it going. So let's just all consider that, and I think that's something our churches in the need to really bring in. I know people don't like to think about it, but it's very good to bring in because it is going to happen, and those funds are always used to keep the church going. Thank you.
Okay. CFO, man, I just love your spirit. Very kind, smart, articulate. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us and the resources that you share. So at this time, we will call on a powerful deacon, Neil Mowat, to give her closing remarks.
Wow, I can't believe this conference almost coming to an end. Literally. Well, we had a lot come at us in these few hours that we had. And first off, I just want to be thankful to the leadership team. Can we give a round of applause to our regional leadership team? As you know, as we all know, it's really difficult. As we have mentioned, one of our biggest problem getting people together. So it's hard when you're trying to put things together and you're not getting all that. So it takes an extra energy. So we want to really appreciate you guys for all the time spent and everything else. We want to also appreciate our pastors, the ones that been there and are there, building up the men in all the local ministry. We want to say we thank you so much. Please keep up the good work, helping up all the men in your local churches. I want to also thank our speakers, Pastor Smugger. Let's give it up for Pastor Smugger and all the other speakers. You guys brought a lot to the table, and I am still trying to digest all of that. So I want to thank you. And then also, I just want to thank all our participants, all of those that made it your duty to be here today. You could have been anywhere doing a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, this is summer's coming to the crunch town. Everybody's got stuff to do, but you made it your duty to be here. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. From all of us here at Harvest Maple Grove, we want to thank you for your time. And I pray that everything that we've learned here today will not be in vain. I want to encourage us to make a move. This is so very crucial and it's so very important. A lot of people will want this kind of information. They're not privy to it. So now that you are hearing that you play around with it, you've done something, make it your mind today and just take one action. If it means calling one of the speakers to just inquire about something that been, playing on your mind, do it. If it's one action you're going to take, like for instance, I was talking about just trying to figure out what your net worth is. Do it. Please. We should not go out of here without making a commitment personal to ourselves to take one little action. It only start with that, and you never know what happens from there. So again, I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody from the bottom of my heart again. We hope you had a good time. You enjoy yourself, and you stay blessed, and I will turn it over.
Yeah, one for you do that.
Sorry. So now you said maybe the table said so. I want to invite all of you guys tomorrow to come here and fellowship with us. Besides, he said something very important. Please mark it on your calendar that next year, July, will be the global conference in Dallas. Please start thinking about it now. Put it in your calendar. Try to put something aside. Mostly some of the things that hold us up is the fact that we have obligation to our jobs. But one good thing is for sure, if anything we learn here is articulating, planning in advance. If you become a person of planning, all of this thing we're talking, it become easier when time just flow along, right? So please make our duty to do that.
All right, thank you, Deacon Neil. Also, just to add my voice to Deacon Neil, we really want to say thank you guys for coming. Especially, I want to say, Malachi and Edwin, tell me, these days, where you find 11 years old getting on at 7 o'clock to come to church activity and stay all this time. So thank you so much. All right, so, and then on behalf of our visionary, Dr. Howard, who is in Texas doing some work there with our sister church, and on behalf of our resident pastor who is here, Pastor Manscott, and the entire leadership, we say thank you so much for coming, and we wish nothing but blessing and good health upon everybody else here. Long life. Yes, that's our prayer for you guys. And then just to emphasize and encourage us, if you look at the pamphlet, we use money to print this, right? And I will say that the 2 conferences we had, the material that we printed, when people left the conference, they left it right in the chairs, left in the table and went home. So this is a pamphlet that we have. We have our visions, our missions, and every information that you need. Yeah. What we stand for. Everything in here. If you don't want to keep the whole copy, you got a phone. Take the phone and just take a picture of it. It will stay in there. Okay? With that, so we talk about making commitment, right? So can we just see those that really mean what it said? See your hands up. Commitment to the KingsMen Regional Conference. Be a part of it. Be a part of it. Not just be a part of it, but put in everything that you have, contribute, be part of meeting, be part of planning, whatever it is. Volunteer your time. Okay. So nearly everybody here agreed. So we thank you for that. Mr. Chairman, you saw the hands. So with that, yes, and we're going to hold each and every one here accountable. I'll be calling some of you personally. so if we have a meeting, if I don't see you, I'll call your phone. If I call you, we have to encourage you to come on, I'll do that. Yeah. Interesting as you did. So at this point, we'll call on Brother David to do our closing motion for adjournment and our closing prayer.
Praise the Lord. Again, I just want to add my word. Thank you so much. It was indeed knowledge-filled, spirit-filled, the togetherness, and I really appreciate and love you guys all. And let's keep this going. Amen. All right. Before the closing prayer, I move to adjourn this conference at this time. Can I get a second? Okay. second. All right. Okay, guys. So let's stand and just close, and then after we close, then we'll get a photo, and then we can adjourn. So let's just pray here. Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the men here, Lord. Thank you for the men here. I pray, God, even those that are not here today, are our men who are not here also, I just want to thank you for them all. Thank you for giving us life. Thank you for giving us family. Thank you for giving us job. I just pray now, Lord, as we live, we are not leaving your presence, Lord. I pray for prosperity in health, prosperity in finances, in everything we put our hands to, Lord. Oh God, may you prosper us, Lord. May you lead us as examples in our communities, in our churches, in our homes, Lord, to our families, Lord. Oh God, let us take control, Lord, and take charge and lead our households. Amen. We bless you, Lord. I pray for this church, the host church. Oh God, thank you for this whole church, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for the brothers, Lord, that help organize this. Thank you for our very pastors, for the speakers today. Oh God, bless them, bless them, bless them, bless them in Jesus' name. We are not leaving your presence, Lord. Cover us and bless us at your name. You alone receive the glory in Jesus' name, I pray.
So just before we go, I forgot and honestly forgot. The food that we ate, it was prepared by our resident pastor's wife. So Elder Chris is not here, but we just want to say thank you to her. Thank you, Elder Chris, for, I know she will probably watch the video also, but thank you so much. Thank you for feeding us breakfast and lunch. So thank you. And then also our media man over there, Brother Jamel. Thank you, my man. Thank you. And I call him my general. You know, sometimes I think, I said, man, you know what, if I was fast, you could be my son. but I took time, you know. So thank you so much for everything you do.
So Jamel, let's do a quick photo.